Chapter 51, Erza deceived. 9. Obviously, she intends to accompany Gel to death. Okay, the magic wizard will call right away. Gel, you should stop acting. It's not just a small trick like delaying time. It's too low. I'm afraid only Erza who has feelings for you will believe it. Dino was speechless. To be honest, showing affection in front of his face is really uncomfortable. If it wasn't for Erza to give up on Gel completely, he would have shot. Now that the attack is down immediately, it would be too much to act again. At this time, a magic circle appeared in the sky of Tower of Heaven, and great power was brewing. It was shot down from the air when it got close to the attack. The radiance of that blazing sun enveloped the entire Tower of Heaven. Dazzling light. After opening his eyes for a while, the entire Tower of Heaven has become a magic crystal, and the magic power in that magic crystal is quite amazing. Erza couldn't understand this scene. Are we alive? Erza looked at his hands. The opposite Gel also stood up with a smile, and soon came out the same. Gel. You're Gel's brother? Erza asked. Dino has a black line on his forehead. I said, Erza, are you really stupid or fake? Didn't I tell you before you fought that Gel also has a missing body? This new guy is Gel's nostalgic body. He has been in power of the council for many years, and he has only come after his task has been completed. Dino replied. Erza's body was cold. If that's the case, then it's him who brought down the magic spirit power. What is the purpose? Are all the things you just said false? To be honest, I didn't expect you, Dino, to actually let me go to such a degree, although the process was very hard. But fortunately everything will be restored now. After my magic power is restored, you will die. Gel smiled grimly. Right. Erza's body trembled slightly. Cheated. Always lied to him. Gel didn't expect to be a liar. Everything Dino said was true. Erza was heartbroken at this moment. She didn't expect that Gel would actually dare to deceive him. Gel. Erza growled. The weapon in his hand appeared and hit Gel. That Gel's missing body also merged together, and the magic power in the body was restored. Reach out to bring Erza down. Just as he was about to hit her in the body, Dino rushed forward and hugged Erza before backing back. Dino, let go. I'm going to kill Gel. Erza's tone was cold. It can be seen that the deception just now made her heart ache so much that she couldn't breathe. Now just want to kill Gel. Don't be like this, Erza. You can't beat him, and I said that I was the one who wanted to kill him. Even if you are Anan's mother, if you grab my prey for no reason, it will make me angry. Dino waved to Anan. Anan flew over and looked at Erza and also looked at Dino. Anan, can you take your mother away, so that your father and I have a chance to teach this guy who cheated your mother a good lesson, right? Dino grinned. Anan nodded. Well, Dino, you must avenge Erza's mother, or you will be taught by Kaina's mother when you go back. Dino laughed stunned, but he didn't say much. This side stood up and turned around to look at Gel, also cheering up. Anan flew Erza to the edge of the magic crystal, ready to take her out at any time. Sorry Dino, I should have listened to you, Erza said in a low voice. Dino waved his hand. It doesn't matter, I am very kind. After speaking, the magic in the body is madly cathartic and appears. Even the magic crystal vibrated under this powerful magic power, cracking open gaps and then shattering directly. Broken crystal fragments are suspended around. The entire Tower of Heaven began to tremble, and the powerful impact of the magic made the clothes on his body automatically without wind. Come on, Gel, let me see how rubbish your little power is, Dino said. That Gel immediately manipulated magic. Meteor. Use his unique celestial magic to instantly increase his speed. Dino, one of the worst decisions you made was to bring my missing body back. Now my power and strength are stronger than ever, and you have lost. Gel said. The body speeded up instantly and moved continuously throughout the wide space. Quickly rushed to Dino from behind. Haha, Gel, are you an idiot? Since I dare to let your missing body come back, I am sure to kill you. Dino replied. Turn around and punch Gel. Q. The magic power surged, and the junction point where the two fists collided generated a large amount of strong wind blowing towards the surroundings. The magic crystal shards on the ground rolled. Anan and Erza on the edge quickly blocked their eyes and grabbed the groove on the magic crystal to resist the fluctuation. Stab. Dino's body retreated on the magic crystal. The figure and speed of Gel moving in the air were also affected. Distance from each other again. Gel looked at the smiling Dino with serious eyes. He still underestimates this Dino. His strength is not weaker than his own. This is pure physical strength. You must know that he has used the celestial magic and Meteor's speed bonus now. If this Dino is full of firepower, maybe he can really press himself to fight. Chapter 52, What magic can even be? Thanks to the Absabzo OA boss for a monthly pass. Is that so? Dino looked at him. Gel felt humiliated, and the speed increased again and a series of punches were thrown at Dino. But Dino dismissed those attacks lightly. Is it so weak? Dino replied. His tone was calm, but irritating. Your strength is not as good as Ho's. Use your full strength, or I will destroy Tower of Heaven and your plan will fail. You bastard. Gel got angry and increased his speed again angrily. Chasing Dino is a hit. You can't. Dino's body kept shaking, switching angles back and forth and raising his palms to catch the punch after punch. Damn. Gel got angry. The body instantly took off in the air. Draw a circle with your hands left and right and finally bring them together. The right palm is open to the sky. The left hand is placed on the wrist of the right palm and the index and middle fingers are raised. At this moment, the sky turned black. I will definitely defeat you. Accept the punishment of 7 stars. Gel roared. One by one magic circles appeared and suspended behind them, and finally formed the 7 points of the Big Dipper. Aiming at the Dino below is a move. 7-star sword meteorite group. Go to hell, he said. The 7 magic circles flickered in turn, and were finally connected to each other by a golden arc of lightning. For a moment, the 7 magic circles turned into streaks of light and shot towards Dino below, with quite astonishing power. Below, Dino also leaked a smile after seeing the slightly powerful attack. It's just like a word. It makes me think about moving a little bit, Dino said. Hands folded hair without wind automatically. A huge magic circle appeared above the head, covering the entire top. Rumbling. The two collided instantly. The rumbling sound rang out, and the tower of heaven under his feet was shaken. Outside, Natsu, Gray, Lucy, Juvia, and Happy on the sea did not dare to approach in the boat. The huge attack just now hit the tower of heaven. I wanted to rush up, but there was something wrong with the state of Tower of Heaven in front of me. This stops. Suspended in the sea and looked over there. I felt that someone was fighting and planning to watch. Is that Miss Erza? Lucy asked. Juvia shook her head. Juvia feels like Lord Dino. Natsu raised his head and nodded. Dino and Erza are both on it. It's unclear who the enemy is, but this time it should be Dino fighting. Come on, you need help anyway, Gray said. AI Happy agrees. Several people continued to approach the Tower of Heaven. On the tower, the smoke disappeared and Dino's figure reappeared. The magic circle above the head disappeared, and below it was the smiling figure of Dino. Looking at the sky, Gel nodded in approval. This move is not bad. Its power is equivalent to the destructive power of a meteorite falling. Sure enough, Gel, your strength is quite good. Damn. Gel cursed. The result of such a strong attack still did not cause any damage to Dino. If he doesn't get rid of this guy, his plan will not be implemented. There must be a way to kill him. Then it's time for me to attack. Dino moves his neck from side to side. Looking up at the sky, Gel also began to think about how to deal with him. After thinking for a while, I laughed. Forget it. I have always liked to use the opponent's strongest magic to defeat him. Since I met you, let me show you what real celestial magic is, Dino said. Gel in the air widened his eyes. What? True celestial magic? Could it be that this Dino can even use this kind of magic? How can this be? He was extremely shocked, and felt that this was simply impossible. How could he use this kind of magic? Dino, you. Erza in the back was also taken aback. Celestial magic should belong to Gel alone. How could Dino use this kind of magic? Celestial magic 6 stars. Spread out 5 fingers with one hand and aim at Gel in the air to release magic. The magic circle appeared. The 6 magic stars hit Gel, attacking quite powerfully. It turned out to be true. Gel was shocked. Hastily using the meteors to move quickly to avoid these attacks, I feel very uncomfortable. The main reason is because he has never seen anyone else use this kind of magic except him, and even he thought he was the only one. I didn't expect to see it on Dino now, and as far as he knows, Dino's magic is very diverse. Is this really a power that a boy of 18 or 19 can master? How can there be so much? And each one is so powerful. Erza in the back has long been stunned. Everyone in the entire guild knows that Dino is very powerful. Many kinds of magic are used. For example, the multi-line dragon slaying magic is the most frequently displayed by Dino. Later, I heard that when fighting Natsu, he used the new celestial spirit magic, as well as wind magic, and Levi said that he also used word magic and light magic against darkness. All these magics appear in one person. How could this not shock her? And now there are new types of magic. Looking at Dino's eyes is also quite complicated. How much magic does he still have? Is it any kind of magic? Chapter 53, The End of the War. Seeking flowers, rewards, monthly tickets, evaluation tickets in the field. The powerful attack was dodged by Gel, and the attack also hit the Tower of Heaven directly overhead. There was a rumbling sound, and the place above the head was directly shattered. The entire top was directly broken and leaked out of the sky, and a large number of magic crystals fell on the ground. The ground on the ground also smashed out a big hole. Seeing Gel fleeing made Dino shrug and feel a little pity. Sure enough, if you want to solve Gel so easily, you can't rely on celestial magic alone. That Gel definitely knew a lot about celestial magic, so he had to think about other magic. Forget it, it's getting late, let's be ruthless, Dino said. The body is covered with a golden light. Celestial magic meteor. Whoosh! Immediately after speaking, it was ejected from the ground, appearing directly behind Gel in the next second. The speed is many times faster than Gel himself. Wow, is that Gel was mentally prepared and couldn't react immediately. Celestial spirit magic ugly cow celestial spirit clothes. Thump! Dino spoke again, and a standing Tauren appeared behind him. The next second fusion in the body, his arms instantly became thicker, His eyes were reddish and his right fist was clenched at the back of Gel's head. Sky Dragon Slayer Magic Middle. Galloping Wind. Sky Dragon Slayer Magic Power of Steel Arms. Fire Dragon Slayer Magic. Flame Dragon's Collapse Fist. The power keeps rising. The magical powers of that one after another sounded like a life-threatening demon behind Gel. Gel was terrified. He felt despair from that fist. Unprecedented desperation. In just a short moment, a fist full of power hit him. Boom dash. Power hits Gel. At that moment, his entire body was in severe pain, which was a feeling he had never felt before. The excruciating pain made his whole body twitch. How come? Such a heavy force. Whoosh. Pop! Exclamation mark. Gel was punched down and hit the ground of the magic crystal. In an instant, a large pit was smashed into the ground, and the smashed magic crystals shot towards the surroundings. There are also cracks around the big pit that spread around. Gel in the middle was in pain. His body was basically embedded in magic crystals. Looking at Dino in the sky, he wanted to speak but didn't say a word. Are you trying to say why I'm so good? Dino stroked his chin. Gel didn't answer. Dino grinned with a very innocent look, and replied, actually, this power has already been released under the condition of my suppression. If you can't stand it, is your title of Holy Ten too watery? A bit. Cough 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 cough. How is your power possible? Gel used all his strength to break free and stood up with difficulty. His legs trembled constantly and his arms felt a wave of weakness, and the internal organs in the body were all displaced. He even wondered if he could survive even if he escaped now. PFFT. A mouthful of blood was spit out, and Gel's body shook twice before he stood firm. Breathing is also much easier. He knew that he was definitely seriously injured, and that Dino still looks in high spirits. Absolutely no consumption. This kid is too scary. Gel was shocked. To be honest, he never thought that Dino was so strong. He just felt that he was so arrogant when he was young and mastered a little power. So I didn't care from beginning to end. But now he is also suffering and can't tell. Although all this is caused by carelessness, his instinctive feeling may not change in any way even if he tries his best from the beginning. Gel, admit your mistake. Dino's strength is definitely not only that. You will die if you keep fighting. Erza in the back also looked over and spoke. In the end, she still couldn't watch Gel get killed by Dino. I also hope that Gel at this moment can admit his mistake and beg for mercy. Gel in the pothole is very embarrassed. His clean clothes are tattered, and his short hair is not so soft, which gives people a miserable appearance. Hey, ha ha, ha ha ha, no one can stop me from resurrecting Zeref. I must resurrect him. Gel still admits his mistake. Grimmily raised his hands. The strong suction attracted the surrounding magic crystals and Dino's shadow towards Gel. Not good. Dino, be careful. Seeing this scene, Erza immediately exclaimed and prepared to help. It's useless. It's useless. Go to hell. Gel is crazy. Hands held high and crossed. An all-sucking black hole condensed above. Throw it at Dino. Dark paradise. Whoosh. The black hole with strong suction slammed into Dino very quickly. Erza hurried over to resist. Dino, on the other hand, put his fingers together in disapproval. In front of each other. Triple magic array middle. Mirror water. Buzzing. 3 consecutive magic circles appeared in front of them, and they were stacked in front of them. Moment. The black hole and the magic circle collided together. The next second the black hole was bounced off and hit Gel. How come? Gel was startled, hastily dodged and left. As soon as this side left, the black hole hit the place where he was standing again. Boom boom. The Tower of Heaven is shaking. The crack was enlarged again, and in an instant the entire top of the Tower of Heaven exploded and began to collapse. And an over-the immediately took Erza and flew up. Dino was also suspended in the air, watching the white light from the explosion below. It didn't take long for the white light to disappear. Gel lay on the ground with blood all around him. Although he had just escaped from his own black hole attack, he was still hit by the collapsing Tower of Heaven. He is now lingering. Even if you don't care about him, he won't live long. Chapter 54, Believe it or not, I will raise your rent. Ask for flowers, rewards, and evaluation tickets. Gel. Erza muttered to himself as he watched Gel fall in the air. She was still a little reluctant. Dino fell to the ground, walked towards Gel and prepared to fill up. Just after taking 2 steps, the Tower of Heaven under his feet began to shake. That's when Dino patted his head. I'm going. I forgot that Tower of Heaven is going to explode. Dino then remembered. Tower of Heaven is now a place where a lot of magic is gathered, and when no one controls it, and the magic is constantly vented, it will explode. There must be a carrier. Thinking of this, Dino also looked at Gel who was lying on the ground with less air and more air with complicated eyes. You're lucky, but according to your situation, you probably won't live long. Dino muttered. Walk to Gel's side and grab him and press into a bulging bag. Let's withdraw. This magic crystal must have someone as a carrier, and it just so happens that the Tower of Heaven itself was created by Gel. This time let him eat the consequences. As for whether he can survive or not, it depends on his own luck. Dino flew up and took Erza from Anon. A princess flew towards Natsu who was approaching the Tower of Heaven. Boom dash. Just left not long ago. Huge shaking and explosions sounded behind him. The radiant light enveloped everyone. Whether it was Natsu or Dino couldn't help but close their eyes. When the light disappears, The Tower of Heaven was gone. Dino, Erza, are you alright? The boat over there. Natsu waved and greeted them. Dino landed on their boat smiling and nodded. Turning to look at the Tower of Heaven, which had disappeared, it was also silent. Regardless of the result, at least Dino was satisfied when he fought Joel in the process. You'll be fine, and Dino and I will be fine. Erza smiled. Glancing over the disappearing Tower of Heaven, he nodded. Let's go back. Okay. Looking at the happy people, Dino also yawned with a smile and prepared to sleep. As soon as his head lay down, he found that it was cool, and turned to look over. Master Dino, Juvia is willing to be a pillow for Master Dino. Please don't pity me. Juvia looked shy. The black line on Dino's forehead. What the hell? These words are really easy to cause unnecessary misunderstandings. Finally, he shook his head, closed his eyes, and went to sleep. Juvia happily held Dino's head carefully. Magnolia. At Lucy's house, Dino and Erza were both sleeping on Lucy's bed. Natsu and Gray over there are bored lying on the table and looking at this side. So, why do you want to come to my house to sleep, when you hear Big Brother Dino snoring at night? It's so uncomfortable. Lucy's face was unrequited, slumped on the table watching Dino and Erza over there. After returning from Tower of Heaven, Dino didn't elaborate, but it could be seen that Erza was also traumatized by that incident. Otherwise, how could it be possible to sleep most of the time every day? It's understandable that Dino sleeps every day, but Erza is a little bit wrong, Gray said, rubbing his chin. Soon, Erza woke up from the bed. Glancing at Dino next to him, he also reached out and pulled the quilt for him. Erza, are you alright? Both Natsu and Gray were a little worried, afraid that something was wrong with Erza. Well, it's alright, I'll go out. Erza shook his head. After recalling a little, he turned his eyes on Dino again, and after 2 seconds of silence, he also got up and left. Natsu and Gray immediately followed. Lucy also wanted to follow, but stopped. She wanted to take good care of Dino here. Not for a while. Dino also woke up from sleep, yawning and looking at Lucy. Is Erza out? Hey, Brother Dino isn't asleep. Why is it so clear? Lucy was surprised. Could it be that Brother Dino has some mysterious ability? Even if he is sleeping, he can know whether Erza and others are talking and thinking. It's nothing, just need to get close to it. Dino replied. Lucy was confused. Hey, I have to say that Erza's skin is really good, and it feels really comfortable to touch. Dino had a smirk on his face. Do you really think he sleeps every day? Innocent. It's so naive. Of course he went to sleep because Erza was sleeping too. Well known. A person who is asleep has no sense of touch, and it is not clear even if they move around. And Dino likes to move around when he sleeps. So, the ghost knows if he has encountered something accidentally. He didn't know if Dino was asleep anyway. Brother Dino, it always feels like you're thinking about something very rude. Lucy looked at Dino and was wary. Cough. How is it possible? Don't slander people, or I'll increase your rent. Don't. Chapter 55. Let's do it. Flowers, rewards, and evaluation tickets. Time passed slowly. Several days have passed since the Tower of Heaven. To Dino's surprise, there was no movement in the council. Dino was still thinking about whether to let the council give him the title of Holy 10. Now it is estimated that 80% will not be given, and it is not clear how. Not even President Makarov responded. This day, the entrance of the Fairy Tale Guild. Natsu and Gray, as well as Erza and Lucy, are here watching the spectacular guild quarters. It's amazing. I didn't expect the rebuilt guild to be so big. Lucy sighed. Natsu and Gray also nodded undeniably. Then walked into the guild and began to visit. Inside the guild's house. Today, the scene was extraordinarily quiet. The main reason was that there was a person sitting in one of the many seats. A person with long black hair and wearing iron decorations stayed quietly. Gabriel, the original Phantom Lord Guild ace. It was also today that he joined Fairy Tale, and many members of the guild were quite hostile to Gabriel. After all, this guy is the enemy. Even if the guild leader advised the members of the guild, no one was able to eliminate the estrangement and coexist peacefully with him so quickly. Oh, some people still don't care. For example, Dino, who was lying there sleeping, didn't care. Beside Dino, Kana and Levi were sitting on the left and right, fanning Dino and in and on Dino's head from time to time to dissipate the heat. Welcome back, Lucy. Door. After Lucy and the others walked in, Levi also waved cheerfully. Levi saw Lucy responded with a smile. You little bastards are finally back. Makarov appeared. Standing beside him is Juvia in blue. Introduced 2 new members to you. The first is Juvia, one of the 4 elements of the original Phantom Lord Guild. Makarov introduced. Huh? Juvia is going to join the guild. Lucy was also a little surprised. After thinking about it, he nodded. This is normal. The Phantom Lord has been disbanded, and it is good to come to our guild. Erza and Gray and Natsu all nodded in welcome. Juvia also politely thanked him. Please take care of me. I will try my best to become better. Juvia pinched her skirt and saluted. Makarov said again, looked at Gabriel, and said, the other one is Gabriel. Say hello. Natsu and Gray and Erza all looked at it. I also saw that Gabriel, who was sitting not far from Dino, suddenly looked ugly. Juvia is fine with me, but Gabriel is the one who hurts our partner and I don't think he should be included, Erza said. Both Natsu and Gray think so. It's okay, Everyone makes mistakes, Makarov said. Reluctantly, Natsu rushed up to confront Gageel. You bastard! Natsu exclaimed. Gageel also stared at him disdainfully. Stinky boy, are you going to fight? Gray remained silent. Erza didn't say a word, and the atmosphere in the guild was also very anxious. Hoo. Only the purring of Dino, who was lying there sleeping, was a little out of sync. At this time, the lights of the entire guild were turned off, leaving only a pair of bright eyes in the dark guild. Soon the stage of the guild lit up with a foggy, warm light. Mira Jane emerges as she sits with her guitar in her arms. To celebrate the completion of our guild reconstruction, I sing a song for everyone, Mira Jane said. The people in the guild below don't care anymore. A warm welcome with a wave of hands. Myra's so pretty. Miss Mira Jane is so beautiful today. It's amazing. It sounds great. Everyone cheered and cheered. Dino also opened his eyes, yawned, and slowly looked at Mira Jane on stage with a drink. The singing begins. The elegant and light voice sounded, and the entire guild couldn't help but put on smiles. Beautiful singing echoes. Dino listened with a smile on his face, and in all fairness, Mira Jane looks good and sings very nicely. A song is wonderful. Hearing that, Dino yawned at the end and continued to lie down to sleep, and grabbed Anan in his arms. After Mira Jane stepped down, Gageel also went straight up in the white suit and started his devilish voice. Next, let me sing a song I wrote for you. It's called Best Friend. Listen to it. Surrounded by magic. I've never heard such a bad song, Natsu said, covering his ears. Boom. A guitar hits Natsu directly in the face. You want to fight? Damn it. Natsu roared. Gageel rushed straight up. Juba. Crackling. Bang bang. After a while, the scope of the fight became larger and larger. The whole guild is in chaos. Tables fly around. The bench is smashed. One after another attack was continuously beaten out by them, and the good guild was also beaten to tatters in an instant. Dino, who sleeps peacefully, is also affected. Several attacks and a few miscellaneous objects hit Dino's head hard. I can really sleep. I don't even wake up. Carla, who was beside him, helped to resist the attack, and even looked at Dino who was hit, and couldn't help but complain. Levi over there also squinted and smiled to avoid the sundries. Chapter 56, Lagosas, you still trash. Thank you for the flowers. I don't know how long the fight will last. Gageel was called out by the Levi group of three. The open space outside the guild. Gageel and Jed and Roy confront each other. Levi hid behind a tree trunk and watched the situation worriedly. What's the matter with me? I have to go out to work. Gageel stood. Jed looked unhappy. Still working? What qualifications do you have to join our fairy tale as a guild destroyer? Yeah, there are things that hurt us. You thought it was over. Roy was also angry. Gageel raised his little finger and licked his ears. Then what are you going to do? Damn it. Of course we're going to have our revenge, Jed said. The body rushed over instantly and punched Gageel on the body. Gageel got back on his feet after being knocked out. Cut. Do whatever you want, Gageel said. Troy and Jed attack again. The two teamed up to hit Gageel. Is this bullying more with less? At this time, an arrogant voice sounded. Everyone looked over and found out Lagosas appeared behind him. Jade and Troy couldn't help but stop fighting, looking at Lagosas with some vigilance. Gageel also stood up. Is this the kid who troubled my guild? Lagosas said. Taking the first 2 steps, that stinky old man just took people away because he wasn't guild. That's why he was looked down upon by others. The veins on the forehead skyrocketed. A look of hatred that iron cannot become steel. The ferocious face elaborated. Oh, on the way back, I heard a lot of people say that fairy tale is just like that. Stab stab tilde. Headphones worn over the ears arc flashing. The thunder that fell from the sky hit Gageel instantly. He directly knocked Gageel out of combat and fell to the ground with scars on his body. When he tried to stand up, he saw Lagosas reaching out and clenching his fists at the ground. The lightning strike broke through the dirt and hit Gageel again. Gageel's pain is not like a man. Stop, Lagosas, such an attack is too much, Jade said. Troy also said, even if Lagosas is strong, Gageel can't fight back. Lagosas turned his head instantly, roaring at them. Shut up for me, chop. Reaching out and waving is a huge thunder attack, hitting Levi's position. Just as the thunder are about to hit, Dino's figure appeared. Reaching out and grabbed the thunderbolt in his hand, and pulled his hands alive. Shred thunder, plug it into the mouth. Dino. Levi saw who was coming. Troy and Jed both breathed a sigh of relief. Dino's strength is still very strong. Even Lagosas must be serious. Dino. Damn it guy. Watching Dino who shredded his own thunder, the blue veins on Lagosas' face exploded again, and the arc of lightning flashed on his body. Ouch, it's so unpalatable. Dino also retches after eating thunder, raising his head to look at Lagosas and Gageel, who had fallen to the ground almost losing his strength, also smiled. Lagosas, you're really rubbish. Your strength has never improved, even weaker than me 2 years ago. How can a waste like you live in a guild? Dino say. Damn it, Chop Suey. Who are you talking about? Lagosas was angry. The thunder arcs on the body are more, and they continue to condense, and the surrounding air can't help but be a little depressed. Ha, whoever responds is the one who speaks. Dino laughed. With a tilt of his head, his tone changed. Remember what I said last time? Lagosas, have you ever been defeated? Have you ever felt despair? Do you know how weak your strength is? Dino's tone was cold. Put away your smile. Take the first 2 steps towards Lagosas. You really make me look down on you now, and you will only be incapable of getting angry. The so-called concept of respect for the strong in your heart should have been eliminated long ago. In fairy tale, if you continue to maintain this mentality, you will never become the next party member. Dino said. He opened his hands and smiled at him. Come on, hit me with your insignificant thunder, and give me a reason to teach you a lesson. Damn it, you bastard, looking for death. The thunder wrapped around Lagosas, and the soil on the ground was spread out into a big pit. Seeing to start, sudden, Lagosas withdrew thunder, turned gloomy and left. Dino, such an opportunity will come soon, and then I will show you what horror is. I want to watch you beg for mercy in despair. Just wait. Lagosas' voice echoed. People have disappeared in place. Then I'm really looking forward to it. Dino smiled, turning to look at Levy. Yo little Levy. Don't worry, I will always be your knight. How could I watch you get attacked? Dino joked. Dino, when did you come? Levy asked with a smile. Troy and Jed watched curiously too. Dino scratched his head. You may not believe it, I'm sleeping on this tree. Dino, you are really different. You can sleep anywhere. Levy couldn't help laughing. Ha ha ha, yes. The biggest dream in my life is to sleep with him forever. Dino laughed. Turn around and walk towards Gagiel. What are you doing? Gagiel held on. Lagosa great. But honestly, Gagiel would rather face Lagosas than Dino. Lagosas made him feel very powerful. But Dino gave him the feeling of despair, an intuition full of despair both physically and mentally. So he was very vigilant. It's nothing. I beat you before, and I'm not interested in you now, Dino said. He waved his hand and left. Generally speaking, you are welcome to join Fairy Tale. Dino leaves. Levy followed. Speaking of which, the Harvest Festival is about to begin. Well, then I will also go to the audition for me.Fairy. Really? That's great. I'll wait and see. Okay. Chapter 57, Jumping Out to Show Existence Again. 2,000 flowers plus more. Harvest Festival. The Harvest Festival is also a huge event for the citizens of the entire city of Magnolia. Not only people in this city like it, but it can even attract many other cities to come and watch it. In the past few days, laughter in the streets. Countless people put on smiles on this day, put down their heavy work, and accompany their children, wives and parents to relax for a day. At the same time, a grand event is also being held within the Fairy Tale Guild. Hello everyone, I've made you wait for a long time. The beautiful fairies are competing for beauty. On this day, I also welcomed a selection of Miss Fairy Tale. I will be the host. Within the guild, countless people fill up the entire Fairy Tale Guild. The members of the guild, or the mages who are qualified to enter here, are cheering. Natsugray and the others below are also eating and looking at the stage. In a small corner, Dino also yawned and fell asleep. He wasn't interested at all in this so-called Miss Fairy Tale audition. There are various events taking place throughout Magnolia these 2 days. Food, clothes, toys. Wait for the price of things to jump off the building and sell it directly. Dino didn't take Anna around for 2 days, and also invited Mira Jane, Lucy, Erza, Juvia, Levy, and Carla to go out to eat, drink and have fun. So happy. And today is finally time to sleep soundly. Host on stage. The Sorcerer of Sand, Max, is hosting. The number 1 contestant is a delicious beauty with a different dimensional stomach. Carla Arupolona will introduce herself with magic. Above, Carla's hand of card magic is also quite slippery. After a while, the swimsuit Carla also appeared on the stage, which immediately excited the men below. Dino was woken up, yawning and grinning as she glanced at the eccentric Carla. Hey, I already told you not to participate in such unnecessary competitions. It would be nice for me to go home in this outfit and watch alone, Dino muttered, trying to tell Carla and Erza et al. Not to go to the competition these days. But obviously, they were not obedient, so Dino had no choice but to let them pass. Now think about it and compromise. Anyway, it is not naked. There's nothing wrong with being seen. Anyway, be generous, at the very least. He was a little nervous, and seeing the eyes of those men made Dino extremely satisfied. Look, this is the charm of my woman. Shaking his head, Dino continued to sleep on his stomach. The game on the podium continues. Women appeared one by one, introducing their identities and magic. The people below shouted excitedly one by one. I can't wait to break my throat. Contestant number 8 Beauty. At this time, a voice sounded again, causing the people below to shut their mouths and look around suspiciously. They were all a little surprised. You must know that there are only 7 players participating in the competition, and the sudden appearance of the 8th makes them feel a little bad. A woman came up from behind. She has long brown hair, green clothes, a folding fan in her hand, and glasses on the bridge of her nose, and she slowly appeared on the catwalk. Evergreen. I didn't expect her to come back. So the Thunder Gods have all returned? The people in the guild were full of disbelief. Even the president, Makarov, widened his eyes. A cold sweat appeared on his forehead, and he felt that something was wrong in his heart. Wait a minute, why did you suddenly interfere with me and say that the boring game is over? It's about my rent. Lucy looked reluctant. Grey below called immediately. Lucy, don't look her in the eyes. Huh? Lucy wondered. I saw Evergreen slowly took off his glasses and said, who is this girl? Her eyes also lit up at this moment. Sudden. Lucy's entire body was directly petrified into a stone statue. What's the matter? Is this propaganda? It looks wonderful. The host Max immediately said. The guests quickly retreat and leave here. Run away. His call made those outsiders in the guild feel bad. Immediately turn around and rush out. Not long after, the Fairy Tale Guild members were left in the entire guild station. What are you doing, Evergreen? Do you want to destroy the festival? Makarov asked. Evergreen on the stage chuckled. Don't all festivals have sideshows? As he said that, the curtain behind him rose. In the back, Erza and other women have been petrified into statues. Everyone was shocked. One by one stared wide-eyed at the numerous statues. At this time, the lightning arc flashed on the roof, and the figure of Lagosas appeared on the stage, sweeping over everyone present with arrogance. Fairy tale trash. The festival has just begun, Lagosas said. The people below all looked at Lagosas, who suddenly appeared. Soon the other two members of the Thor group also appeared in front of everyone. Since then, all Thors have arrived. Smelly old man, I finally waited until this day. How many people are still alive before the end of the Harvest Festival? Then take these women as a bet. A thunder arc appeared on Lagosas. Makarov below was full of anger. Who is the strongest in Fairy Tale? Let's compete, Fallen said. Big Slow also stuck out his tongue and laughed. It's a game. Several dolls suspended behind him also reconsidered. Yo, isn't this Lagosas? I didn't expect you to show up again. At this time, Dino, who was sleeping, also woke up, and saw Lagosas on the stage also smiling and saying hello. Chapter 58, 80-year-old old monster. 400 evaluation votes plus more. Everyone looked at him. Lagosas' face darkened even more. The rule of this game is that the last one is the winner, and the fairy tale battle officially begins. Lagosas said, looking at Dino with a grim expression. Dino, I'm waiting for you. I'll tear it apart alive. Break you and let you know who is the strongest. And then, want me to applaud you? Dino raised an eyebrow. He looked at Lagosas with a playful look on his face. Don't be complacent, you bastard. I will definitely let you know how good I am. Lagosas roared. The thunder arc on his body kept making a sizzling sound. Looking at the members of the guild again, the competition time is only 3 hours. You more than 100 people only need to knock down the 4 of us. And the scope is also the entire city of Magnolia. As long as you find us, you can start the battle. Then the game starts now. Done. Lightning flashes on Lagosas, covering the entire guild. The guild members couldn't help but narrow their eyes. After recovering, Thor and Lagosas had disappeared. Damn it, be sure to catch Lagosas. To dare to do such a thing on the day of the Harvest Festival, I will never spare him. Everyone in the guild was filled with righteous indignation. Turn around and head outside. Damn it, I want to subdue Lagosas with my own hands. Makarov said. Boom. He rushed to the door, but was directly blocked. This is Freed's spell, and all people over the age of 80 and stone statues are prohibited from entering and leaving. Makarov looked at the spell above his head and read it. Immediately after, Natsu also rushed up, but was also blocked and couldn't get out. Since you can't get out, leave Lagosas to me, President. I won't forgive him even if he is your grandson. Gray said outside. Makarov looked at Gray, who was leaving, and then looked at Natsu, who was still fighting against the spell. Can anyone really beat Lagosas? He couldn't help thinking. Hoo. At this time, screams also sounded. Makarov's brain slammed, and he instantly became happy when he looked at Dino, who was sleeping soundly. Dino, he called. If there's anyone on the field who can beat Lagosas, it's only Dino. Huh? Dino opened his eyes. It was also a little strange to scratch his head. Why did I suddenly fall asleep? Wasn't I talking to Lagosas just now? Anand stood on the table and asked worriedly. Dino, are you sick? It's not advisable to fall asleep suddenly. Anand spit. Dino scratched his hair awkwardly. Ha. A mistake. Dino smiled awkwardly, slowly got up and looked at the guild resident that was no longer there and walked slowly towards the outside. Dino, go out and stop Lagosas. Only you can do it, Makarov said earnestly. Dino squatted down and looked at the small president with incomparably serious eyes. To die or to live? Dino asked. Makarov frowned. Dino, can your killing intent not be so heavy? I have high hopes for you. You are strong and assertive, and I also expect you to take my class. Dino shook his head hastily. Don't, President. It's a pity for you to retire at such a young age. Both Erza and Natsu are still counting on your discipline. Dino waved his hand. A man walked slowly towards the gate. Lagosas has done too much. He lacks a social beating. Let me abolish him, and then he will understand your good intentions, President. Don't worry, I will not kill him, but my purpose is to let him. He shivered when he saw me. Dino said he was ready to step out. Bastard. Give me the task of defeating Lagosas. At this time, Gagil also slowly appeared while eating iron. Gagil, you're here too. Chairman Makarov and Natsu were both surprised. Gagil walked to the door and glanced at Dino with fear. I still have unresolved accounts with Lagosas, and I just took this opportunity to teach him a lesson, Gagil said. Step forward directly. Boom. That's all. With the playful look on Dino's face and the wonderful look on Natsu's face, Gagil couldn't come out. Ugh. Gajiel, you must be over 80 years old. Natsu was furious. Gajiel retorted, it's impossible to think about it. I'm still very young. There must be something wrong with this breaking technique. Hey, Makarov was looking forward to it. Seeing this scene, he gave up completely, and looked at Dino with the last glimmer of hope. I also want to know whether Dino can go out or not. If he can't, then there is really no one who can beat Lagosas this time. Laughing so hard, Dino's mouth twitched. Although he knew that Gajiel couldn't get out, he couldn't help laughing when he saw this scene. After he finished speaking, he walked directly and successfully left the place. Then Natsu and Gajiel, you two old monsters over 80 years old, rest well, Dino said. Just leave. Anan didn't follow. It's useless for her to go out. It's better to stay here and wait. Interim report, Jed vs Altsak vs Troy, winner, Altsak. The text above appears. Makarov and Natsu and Gajiel frowned. Happy and Anan both flew in the air and watched silently. Chapter 59, Spike.The battle is fraught. All over the city of Magnolia, Fairy Tail Guild members are fighting each other. And this moment, Dino leisurely strolls around. In fact, he could completely unlock Erza's petrification. But Dino didn't do that. If Erza wakes up, then he can't be too hard on the three of the Thor. So he'd rather let Erza and the others be petrified and pretend he couldn't save them. The purpose is to teach those three guys a hard lesson. Then I'll wait for a while. The extra members should be eliminated soon after calculating the time. Dino said, sit down directly at a table next to it and plan to talk later. Time passed by minute by minute. There are only 3 people left in the fairy tale battle. The voice sounded again. Makarov here also received the news in time. What? Only 3 people left? Makarov exclaimed, looking at Natsu and Gajiel beside them. They were also speechless. He questioned them again. Are you 2 little brats left? Fortunately, there is Dino. Otherwise the whole army will be wiped out. It turns out I wasn't counted at all. Happy said. Anan also said numbly, without me, I'm obviously better than Happy. Huh? Anan, I can't pretend I didn't hear you. It's a fact. Come on, let's fight and see who is the real powerful cat. Boom. Happy, you are so weak. Outside. Yo, look who I found. Isn't this the famous Dino? Are you being lazy? In a position next to the table, on the eaves above Dino's head, a weird-looking Bixlo with a helmet appeared, with 5 small dolls floating behind him. Be lazy, be lazy. The puppet behind him echoed. Below, Dino drank the drink in his hand and raised his eyelids, looking at the guy on the eaves also listless. I haven't looked for you yet, but you found me first. Dino slowly stood up and jumped to the eaves. Baga, fall down, you, Bixlo said. The 5 dolls behind him immediately attacked. 5 green lights hit Dino. Dino yawned and wiggled a few times before dodging the attack. Even though you're very good, I'm still very interested in playing with you, Dino muttered. Step out hard. The ground was squeezed and cracked, and Dino's figure rushed over. I won't be approached by you, Bixlo said. The body immediately retreated, and the 5 dolls stood in front of him. Linear formation. The 5 puppets immediately followed the order one by one, and a slash was fired from their mouths, slashed the ground and rushed towards Dino. Don't use this little trick, Dino replied. The body that rushed forward turned slightly, and turned sideways to avoid the slashing attack. Victory. Bixlo spoke again. It's a pity that this time Dino disappeared in front of his eyes before he could speak. How come? Bixlo was surprised. He hurriedly looked around to find Dino's figure. Where are you looking? At this time, right in front of him, Dino's figure emerged, with his right fist on his waist, clenching his fist tightly. Boom. One punch hits Bixlo in the stomach. Immediately, his whole body arched his body. His mouth grew, his tongue leaked and he felt pain. It hurts, Bixlo exclaimed. Next second, Dino reached out and grabbed Bixlo's leaking tongue, tugging hard to reveal more. Since you like sticking out your tongue so much, let me see if your tongue is hard enough. As he said that, Dino turned his left foot and suddenly raised his knee. A bump hit Bixlo's chin. Puff. Blood spurted out of his mouth, along with a few teeth. Bixlo stepped back several steps before he could stand, his hands clasped at his mouth. Blood dripping from the gaps in his palms. Drops kept flowing, dripping onto the ground. You are, Bixlo spoke, but couldn't make it clear. Although Dino's knee hit was not very hard, it also caused Bixlo to bite his tongue to pieces. If it was not controlled, it would really bleed to death. Is that so? Dino asked listlessly, glancing at Bixlo. He asked again, as a Thor, are you at this level? Cough. Bixlo retorted, but his tongue had been bitten by his own teeth and he couldn't speak at all. Swollen Town. Bixlo ordered the use of a barrier formation, and the 5 dolls immediately formed a pentagonal shape and aimed at Dino to emit a powerful laser. This attack is basically Bixlo's most powerful move. However, Dino's body swayed as he watched the move that was hitting him disappeared before Bixlo's eyes again. Immediately behind him, he reached out and grabbed Bixlo and pressed it towards the ground. Boom dash. The roof they were on was instantly broken open and fell into the interior, slapping Bixlo's head on the ground. Bixlo's body twitched slightly, but he still quickly controlled 5 dolls to hit Dino. See here. Dino jumped back to avoid the attack, and he also let go of Bixlow's head. Hey, why do you continue to move? If you pretend to be invincible, can't I spare you? Dino sighed. Bixlow slowly stood up tremblingly, reaching out his hand to open his helmet. His eyes leaked out. The bath name is the eye. Light flashed in his eyes. The mouth shouted out shape eye. Bixlow's sculpted eyes are a kind of magic that manipulates each other's souls. A powerful move. Dino nodded. The next second his eyes flashed slightly, but it's useless to me. Said to leave the ground again. This time, his strength has been improved to a certain extent, and the waves that rushed out also smashed the bricks on the ground. The same simple physical strength. It was still in front of Bixlow when he reappeared. A punch was aimed at his stomach. Swoosh. Boom boom. The power was vented to Bixlow. His body was knocked out, smashed through the wall of the house and dragged out to the ground. Vomit. A mouthful of blood spurted out. This time Bixlow really has no resistance. Chapter 60, Invalid. All attacks are ineffective. In this moment, the presidents Makarov and Natsu, who could not come out, also got the news immediately. Dino vs Bixlow. Winner, Dino. Win. It's been a long time to see good news. Makarov also had hope in his heart. That's great. It's you, Dino. Dino is really powerful. He is indeed a hidden powerhouse in our guild. He met Bixlow 30 seconds ago, and the battle was settled after 30 seconds. It's amazing. Natsu was also overjoyed. Gajiel looked calm. The power of Dino is more than that. That guy can fight Jose with the title of Holy 10. Now it's even slow to deal with a small member who isn't even S rank. However, Dino's killing intent. Makarov thought while he was happy. It's good that Dino beat Bixlow, but Dino has always been very powerful. Maybe it is not impossible to kill the Thunder Gods who have not met much. If Dino hears what Makarov has to say, he will give a thumbs up, because he's really thinking about killing Bixlow right now. Standing in front of a fainted Bixlow, Dino began to hesitate. Joined the Fairy Tale Guild for 2 years. To be honest, it's unlikely to be emotional, but Dino has never let himself get too deep, just because of worry. I don't want to look for trouble when I meet a guild member who doesn't like it. So he always feels like he's in Fairy Tale, but he hasn't fully integrated into it. Forget it, there's no need to kill you. After thinking it over and over again, Dino gave up. Turn around and go to the next place. And this moment, Cathedral of Karushia. The lightning arcs flowed away from Lagosas, and the place where he stood has been pierced by the lightning arcs. Bixlow, that bastard, can't even beat Dino. Lagosas roared gloomily. The surrounding thunder arcs are even more violent. Standing not far away, Fried replied, I heard that Dino can fight the Holy 10 sorcerers. Even if it's not true, it's not something that Bixlow can beat. Not even Evergreen. Trash. It's all trash. Lagosas got angry. Fried's Silence Club also said, let me go, maybe only I can fight against Dino. Lagosas looked at him with a smile on his face. Go, let that bastard Dino see the power of Dark Fried. Kill Dino. Fried frowned. Lagosas, wouldn't it be too much? Lagosas stared at him when he heard his words. Lightning flashed. Boom dash. Lightning flashed across Fried's side, creating a deep ravine on the ground. Okay. Fried nodded. He saw unprecedented anger in Lagosas' eyes. Maybe it was because Dino really made him very angry, so he didn't refute anymore, turned and left to go to meet Dino. At this time, Dino didn't know that what was known as Dark Fried was advancing towards him, and he has already encountered the next enemy. At this time, on the eaves, Evergreen covered half of his face with a fan and looked at Dino below with a half smile. It's so frustrating. I didn't expect you to play Bixlow. It's amazing, Evergreen said. Dino lifted his eyelids. After the silent meeting, he said, there are very few people I hate in the whole fairy tale, and the women I hate are almost extinct. Unfortunately, you, Evergreen, happen to be the woman I hate. Huh? Then I'm really honored to be what you call the only one? Evergreen smiled. Yes, so are you ready to be crushed by me? Dino looked over. Damn it, you're so annoying, Evergreen said. He waved the fan in his hand. A little bit of golden light appeared in front of him, turning into needles and shooting towards Dino. In a sense you're not even as good as Bixlow, and you can handle this kind of attack? Dino responded. The body moved back and forth in the hail of bullets like a soft snake. Boom boom. Those thin needles pierced the ground and exploded, but they couldn't hurt Dino at all. Damn it, Evergreen got angry. A pair of wings appeared behind her and took her body into the air. Reach out and wave. Fairy bomb. A piece of fairy phosphorus was scattered around the place where Dino was standing. Boom. It exploded instantly. A puff of smoke enveloped the scene. Ahahaha. Dino is just that. Evergreen laughed. After the smoke disappears, Dino stood there quietly, not to mention the injury, and even his clothes were not soiled. How come, you're unscathed? Evergreen was taken aback. What the hell was going on with the fact that Dino could easily dodge those explosions without moving? Correct. Evergreen suddenly thought, what kind of magic can this Dino do? How could she never remember? It's very simple. Look at my feet. Dino joked with a smile. That Evergreen looked over quickly. However, he found that there was a small operation at Dino's feet. Chapter 61. Dino vs Evergreen. Winner, Dino. Thanks to the big guy Broken Bridge Misty Rain for the reward. Will you not be hurt within this range? Evergreen's face was full of shock after reading the spell. Dark text. How do you know Freed's dark text magic? Evergreen asked. Of course it was impossible for Dino to answer her. He slammed into the air with his feet, clenching his right fists together with a harmless smile. Damn it! Evergreen cursed to control the wings and flew out. On the way, he turned around and waved at Dino again, and more phosphorus powder exploded towards Dino. I said it was useless. Dino dodged again with a twist in the air, continued to chase towards Evergreen. Damn it! Evergreen was speechless. Reaching out and waving, more needle bombs roared out, hitting Dino. Hee. You can't run away. If you try to lead me to Lagosas, maybe I will show him an evergreen that has been cut into a bat. I still expect him to get angry. Dino replied with a smile. You bastard. Evergreen was angry, stopped on a higher eaves and turned to stare at Dino angrily. Come on, then, let me ravage you before Freed comes, and see if you die first or he comes first. Dino stepped on the eaves and rushed towards the roof. Petrified eye, turn into a stone statue. As Evergreen said that, he took off his glasses and aimed at Dino to activate the petrified eye. Hee. Dino chuckled. Before Evergreen's move could activate his figure, he disappeared before his eyes. Petrification eye, very powerful magic. But you also have to see me. Dino's voice echoed all around. It seems to be everywhere on the entire eaves. Can't hear where it comes from. Then I hope you can stand it. Don't be killed by me, Dino said. Sudden, his figure appeared in front of Evergreen, his body slightly bowed and his fists clenched together. See you, Evergreen shouted. Activate the petrified eye and Dino's eyes meet. Then Dino's eyes flickered slightly, and the petrification did not appear. Peng. Before Evergreen could ask questions, his stomach cramped instantly. The pain was unprecedented. Evergreen's mouth opened wide, and the bitter water in his stomach spit out. Eyeballs are bulging. The body has no strength. It's not over yet. Dino's voice resounded like a devil in Evergreen's ears. Talking. Another punch from Dino hit her in the body again. Immediately after that, both fists were thrown back and forth, and a dozen punches were thrown in just 1 second. Finally, the right fist is clenched again. A final blow to Evergreen's stomach. Swoosh. Rumbling. The huge impact knocked Evergreen's body out. It was directly embedded in the fourth wall after breaking through 3 walls. Drip drip. Blood emerged from the corners of his mouth and fell drop by drop on the ground. Yuck. With a little movement, blood spit out mouth after mouth. It was also difficult to support the stomach with both hands. The clean green clothes have become dirty at the moment, and a long brown hair is scattered in front of his forehead. Overall it looks a bit messy. Not only did she lose her fighting power, but her body was seriously damaged at the moment. Maybe it will hang up if you are not careful. At the same time, the ending of this battle also appeared in the guild station. Dino vs Evergreen, winner, Dino. Makarov frowned somewhat after seeing this reminder, and there was not much time before and after. Enough to see that Dino probably didn't keep his hands at all. Kaka, Peng. On the stage, the women who were petrified also broke out at this moment. Among them, Erza reacted the most quickly. With petrified eyes, she naturally knew what the current situation was. Erza, you go out and stare at Dino. Don't let him get too addicted to fights. I'm worried that he won't hurt Evergreen and the others seriously. Makarov hurriedly turned to look at Erza and said solemnly, neither Dino nor his grandson, Lagosas, are good people. Dino is more obedient in comparison. But with no one staring at Dino might have gone mad. At that time, it is not impossible to accidentally hurt Thor. If you attack harder, you can easily suffer casualties. Okay, President, I'll go there immediately, and this time I must let Lagosas know the price of letting the guild members kill each other. Erza naturally understood. He clenched his fists and walked outside. The characters of the dark script in the guild that had just stepped to the door appeared, forming a skeleton skull. Everyone is watching. Great, now the hostages have been lifted. What are you going to do now, Lagosas? Makarov looked at the skeleton and said seriously. Hee, stinky old man. Do you really think I can't do it like this? The voice of Lagosas came from the skeleton. Lagosas, the game is over. How long do you want to play? Makarov was angry. Hey, I've already activated the Divine Hall of Fame, and there's only 1 hour and 10 minutes left. If you don't want the people of Magnolia to die, then come and defeat me. Lagosas laughed. The skull pattern slowly dissipated. Everyone in the room stood beside him indifferently. All in all, the top priority is to defeat Lagosas, then leave this task to me. Erza waited for the meeting and turned around and walked out. Leave a cold sentence. Damn it, why can't I get out? Lagosas, let me out. Damn it, I still have an unresolved bill with Lagosas. Both Natsu and Geiji roar. Naturally, they really wanted to fight Lagosas, but unfortunately they couldn't get out. Chapter 62, Ineffective Magic. Thank you for the monthly pass from In Memory of You. Cathedral of Karushia. Lagosas sat on the steps with his hands folded under his nose. He stared at the door sullenly. Evergreen lost. Big Slow lost too. Freed, don't let me down. Lagosas pondered. He knew that Dino was very powerful, but he never imagined that 2 of his Thors were beaten with no resistance at all. Even in less than 5 minutes before and after the defeat was already lost. Dino's strength seems to be far beyond his imagination. Battle scene. Evergreen, who was leaning against the wall, covered his stomach, with bright red blood flowing from the corners of his unkempt mouth. Looking at Dino's body standing in front of him, he couldn't stop shaking. This is infinitely scary. How can so cough strong, helpless. Evergreen never imagined that Dino, who had always liked to sleep in the guild, would be so powerful. He had no power to fight back at all. That kind of inability to fill the body and mind with no effect of any move. Too strong. Not even Lagosas has ever felt so desperate. Dino held a sharp sword in his hand and walked towards Evergreen step by step. His eyes were cold and even with an imperceptible killing intent. At this moment, Evergreen only felt that his body was as cold as falling into an ice cellar. I couldn't help swallowing saliva. She found that Dino really seemed to want to kill her signs. Evergreen's sense of death grew stronger as Dino got closer. She wanted to stand up and resist, but the serious injury made her unable to do anything. Come to the front. Evergreen slumped on the ground with a bitter expression on his face. Could it be his death day today? Helplessly closed his eyes and waited for death to come. Freed. If you hide your head and show your tail again, then I'll really kill Evergreen. At this time, Dino looked at a roof and the sound was very calm. Evergreen also followed his gaze. On the roof, Freed's figure slowly appeared from the dark text, holding his knight's sword in his hand and looking at Dino. As expected of Dino, who is considered a threat by Lagosas, this alertness is really different. Freed's injured eyes swept over Evergreen with a much more serious look. If it wasn't for his presence, then Dino might have dared to kill Evergreen with a weapon in his hand. Did Lagosas send you here to die? Dino put away his weapon and walked in Freed's direction. Evergreen's loss of combat effectiveness is considered to be eliminated early. With Freed here, even if he really wants to kill Evergreen, it is impossible. And he also sensed that Erza was coming soon. But in fact, Dino didn't want to kill his comrades. Although he looked down on the Thor group, looking down on them didn't mean he would destroy them. His purpose from beginning to end was to get the rebellious Lagosas to put away his arrogant stance. It is also necessary to crippling him for this. It's useless to talk too much. You who are considered a threat by Lagosas will be dealt with in advance by me, so that you can see what darkness Freed is. Freed held his knight's sword high and immediately used the dark text against Dino. Words of darkness pain. Saying that, a spell fell on Dino's forehead, and then slowly hidden. This text will turn into your feelings and give you intuitive pain. After Freed finished his answer, he waited for the painful cry of Dino. Of course, time passed by without hearing any exclamation from Dino. Freed, the dark words won't work on Dino. He will have the same magic as you. Evergreen over there agreed and said to Freed. And Freed frowned after hearing this. He didn't expect that Dino, who was hidden in the guild, could even have such rare magic as dark text. Below, Dino raised his head with his hands behind his back and smiled at the Freed. If you have any other moves, just use them. Try your best to please me while it's still early, and you won't have any power to resist when I'm bored. Dino said flatly. Freed's whole face isn't very good looking either. Obviously, he didn't expect Dino to use the same spell as himself. Even the tone of this speech felt more arrogant than Lagosas. No, even if you can use dark words, but I have never seen you use it in such a long time. How could it be possible to invalidate my words? Freed wondered. There is also a certain amount of magic power fluctuations before the dark text is used. But since he appeared, he didn't notice any signs of Dino using the spell at all. You must be holding on. Freed seemed to notice the situation. As soon as the voice fell, he waved the weapon in his hand at Dino again, and several dark words fell one after another. Words of darkness horror, pain, death. Dark text patterns fell on Dino's head one after another, disappearing in hiding. But there was no feedback at all. As if the words sank into the sea as silent. How can it be useless? Freed doubts that the magic he has been proud of has failed in life. The whole person is in chaos. There are so many ways to deal with the dark words. If your magic is like this, there may be no need to continue. Dino said. The most fascinating thing about the world of fairy tale is that there are all kinds of magic. No matter what kind of magic there is a way to deal with it. Like dark text. Smashing magic is a super advanced destruction magic, and in principle, it can smash everything that exists. Chapter 63. Switch the battlefield. Magic is also within the scope of being shattered. And Dino has countless types of magic. Naturally dealing with a Freed's dark text can't be easier. How is this possible? Freed is also somewhat unacceptable to this result. Throughout the ages, Freed has never failed since he learned dark script magic. It has been so until now. Who would have thought to feel so powerless in this guild civil war? The pair of dead fish eyes of Dino in front of him didn't seem to wake up yet, but he could easily invalidate his dark words. Are you sure this isn't a dream? A feeling of losing the fighting spirit rose up in my heart. It seemed that no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't defeat the enemy in front of him. Zheng. Just as Freed was about to continue talking, a sword light flashed and slashed towards him from the side beside him, and Freed immediately stepped back to avoid the sword. When he saw the person coming, his brows furrowed even more. Erza. He can't beat Dino alone, not to mention Erza, a veritable S-rank mage. Why did it become like this? Thinking about it, it's Evergreen's fault. If it wasn't for her being defeated, how could the petrification of Erza and others be passively lifted? Suddenly Fried felt that Evergreen was a little too far behind Fried, whereas Lagosas. Erza jumped into the air and stood back to Dino's side, sweeping over Evergreen, who fainted due to excessive blood loss, looked at Fried again and questioned. Dino yawns. I thought in my mind whether I should go to Lagosas. Erza, Lagosas is already waiting for you, although you can't beat Lagosas in the past. Fried answered quietly. Is that so? Erza mused, turning to look at Dino. Dino, go find Lagosas, and Fried will leave it to me to solve it. Dino raised an eyebrow. He directly shook his head and refused. No, I don't have the abused mentality of leaving after being beaten by others. Fried beat me for a while just now, so he is my prey. Erza frowned. Fried on the roof was also silent. Go ahead, Lagosas will be handed over to you, and I won't let it go if Fried. Dino said. I wanted to play more. Now it seems that the battle is indeed over, so let's experiment with other types of magic finally. Good. Erza still agrees. Take Evergreen from the side and leave. Obviously, Erza knew that Evergreen couldn't stay here. Otherwise, it is likely to be accidentally affected by Dino. People go. Dino raised his hands and stretched to get some energy. Fried, let me see your strongest move. I hope you don't disappoint me too much. Dino stayed where he was as if everything around him came together. In that case, Fried Shenyan. Originally he planned to use his strongest moves to deal with Erza. There is no chance now. It should be about the same against Dino. The knight's sword in his hand is raised high. The dark whites of the right eye were all over, and the middle pupil turned purple-black. This time all his magic was released. A few words in dark text appeared in the wave. Words of darkness, darkness. The magic didn't hit Dino, but was directly printed on himself. The word darkness invaded. Fried's body was surrounded by a cloud of black magic. The originally human-like figure has also turned into a pitch-black demon. Two huge rhino horns extended from the forehead. Long green hair flutters. The whole person also turned into a demon. It looks quite ferocious. Oh? Is this your trump card? Dino narrowed his eyes. The devil's style is very ferocious, and there is basically no Fried appearance except for the hair. This is my forbidden magic, as Fried said. His body disappeared instantly. When it reappeared, it was already in front of Dino. Suddenly, a fist hit Dino's face. Peng! Dino raised his arms to resist, but he was still hit by this force and slipped 3 meters away. The ground was plowed with 2 ravines. Impressive. Dino smiled. Fried is stronger than Evergreen and Pixlo. After all, he is the captain of the Thunder Gods. The strength cannot be underestimated. Then, if your strength is only like this, then you will be defeated. Fried said and charged forward again. Dino jumped up without fighting him and charged towards the outskirts of the city. How much to move the battlefield so as not to hurt innocent residents in the city. And Fried followed suit. Behind him, there are wings formed by dark characters, and the speed is also very fast to keep up with Dino's figure. Are you going to run away? Dino, is that all your strength is? Fried said while chasing. There was also a hint of excitement and pride in his tone. Have a look. Even the mighty-looking Dino has his moments of fear. Thinking of this, Fried is even more proud. Of course. Dino leads Fried to a river. No one lives here and it's the best place to fight. Turning to look at Fried, who had a faint smile on his face, he also chuckled. It's just a different battlefield. Do you really think that you must be my opponent now? Dino disagrees. If he really fights, the buildings in the city will definitely be destroyed a lot. In order to prevent him from being scolded by the president, he chose to change the battlefield. To make this Fried think he was defeated. Chapter 64, Four-Winged Fallen Angel Satan Lucifer. This is really funny. The battlefield has shifted, so the next is the battle between us. Dino fell to the ground, looking at Fried, who was also slowly descending. He also spoke flatly. Choose to fight in this place is the best place. Do not need to worry about anyone coming to disturb. There is also no need to worry about the level of damage to the ground. You can also use dark text, so what is your support? It should be the same devil as me. Fried thought, as far as so far and get the message displayed. Dino will use flying magic and the same dark text as himself. There should be nothing more than that. I was thinking about what type of magic I should use to teach you, but now that I think about it, it seems that the devil is indeed a good suggestion. Dino answered. Sometimes there are too many types of magic, which can make people have a deep selection difficulty. But Fried's words also gave Dino a good choice. Then show your demon state, Fried responded. And Dino closed his eyes with a smile on his face. Moment. Fried felt silence around him. The wind stopped. The white clouds in the sky also seemed to be imprisoned by time and space. The ants on the ground lowered their heads. The birds that landed next to the river no longer dared to chirp. All visible or intangible things are like the head underneath. Shock. The river swayed with ripples. The surrounding air was much heavier, as if it was welcoming some kind of terrifying existence. An invisible wave spreads all around. The owner of the wave is Dino standing on the ground. At this moment, his eyes were closed and his breathing seemed to stop. Immediately after, the ground trembled uncontrollably. Like an earthquake and tsunami, small stones and scattered solidified mud shook. Slam la! The bird fled in panic. The fish and other aquatic animals in the small river all jumped out of the water and then burrowed into the bottom of the river to leave quickly. The white clouds in the sky also disappeared without knowing when they were scattered, and there were no clouds in the sky. The flowers and trees on the ground are constantly swaying their bodies. It was as if panicked animals wanted to escape. What happened? Fried swallowed. There was a strong sense of vigilance at the bottom of his eyes, and his eyes were also fixed on Dino with his eyes closed. Although not quite sure, but everything around this seems to have a lot to do with Dino. The air in this world is quite hot. There is a feeling of suffocation. Dino's head. A dark black magic circle emerged. The lines on the magic circle are constantly rotating. In an instant, it's dark. In an instant, the kung fu turned from day to night. Residents of the entire city were amazed by this change. Looking up at the blackness of the sky and the blackness of London was a little scared. What exactly is this? What's the matter? Suddenly the sky turned dark. What happened? Could it be another problem with fairy tale? Why do they always create these accidents? It won't be life-threatening. The people in the city whispered in twos and threes. There was also concern in his eyes. The members of the guild who are still sober can clearly feel the depression in the air. It feels so weird. In the guild, Natsu rubbed his neck and felt uncomfortable. The same goes for Gageel. This suppressed feeling seems to be very unfriendly to their dragon slayer. Makarov also looked solemn. It feels so evil, as if some terrifying evil character is about to come out. But who will appear in the city at this time? Makarov is weird. Even though he was the Holy Ten, he felt very uncomfortable at the moment. This suppressed breath seems to be fundamentally different from his own light attribute magic. It also suppressed him faintly. On sight, Fried felt the deepest feeling. At this moment, he was obviously a demon, but he was still very scared. That fear comes from the root. Looking at Dino, who covered the suburbs under the magic circle, was even more worried. What the hell is he doing? Fried was a little flustered, and Dino felt the depression before he even started attacking. Will you be able to survive once you fight? He was worried about this. Receive magic. Dino opened his mouth lightly and spit out 4 words. Instantly, Fried's eyes widened in disbelief. What Dino wants to use is receiving magic. But, when did receiving magic be so powerful? This suppressed feeling, what exactly is Dino receiving? Could it be some evil creature that never appeared? So scary. Golem. Swallow. Fried wanted to get out of here. Just the fact that he hasn't received it makes him terrified. This is probably something I have never imagined. Receive magic. Fallen Angel Lucifer. Negative emotions fill the body. The dark black magic circle enveloped Dino's body. Wrap him whole. The air is so scary. His long black hair fell to his waist, and 2 pairs of black wings extended from his back. Those eyes were filled with nothing but killing and destruction. The blood-red eyes looked at all creatures like ants. The corners of both eyes have black cracks that look like lightning. A pair of ears also became sharp. The clothes on his body also changed to black. Look carefully and you will find it. The so-called clothes are actually connected to the body. This layer of black clothing is also a kind of armor, able to resist enemy attacks. This is one of the many souls that Dino's receiving magic can receive. For winged Fallen Angel Satan Lucifer. Chapter 65, Only Lagosas remains.Of course. This ability to receive is also not something Dino found on his own. Rather, it was the receiving soul that had been rewarded for his previous sign-in. The strength is naturally weakened to a certain extent. But, even so, it is a very terrifying soul. Fallen Angel. Those are creatures living in the realm of the gods, although it is not known whether there is a god in the world of fairy tale or not. But the level of people is placed there. Even a giant dragon is just an ant in the eyes of a god. In addition, fallen angels represent negative emotions such as darkness, evil, and destruction. There is a certain degree of suppression for light-type mages. In his form, neither the dragon slayer nor the light-type magician can exert their full strength. This is the level of oppression. With the success of receiving magic, the darkened weather has also recovered. Although it is still cloudless, the feeling of depression before has also been weakened to a certain extent. On the other side, Fried felt his scalp go numb when he saw the gesture that Dino was showing at the moment. Fallen angel? This thing Fried was sure he had never seen before. The creatures that have never been seen are really a bit scary, but he knew that he had to be strong first. In an instant, Fried's figure disappeared again. The same move, this time came to Dino's back to attack. Swat. Dino disappeared before he was ready to attack. Later, Fried immediately felt Dino behind him. Not to mention, the black ball of light condensed in his hand shot towards the rear. Disappeared again. Dino's speed at this moment is faster than ever. The advantages of Fried were once again vanished into nothingness. Damn it. Fried was very embarrassed. This feeling of not being able to find a figure at all made him very powerless. Roaring and speeding up again, he continued to chase after Dino's figure. This time, Dino didn't dodge anymore. The purple-black light ball condensed in both hands and a sonic boom charged to Fried's eyes. Raise your fists and hit it. The power is very restrained. Dino understands that Fried won't be able to play enough if he gives it a shot, which makes him lose a lot of interest. Therefore, He plans to gradually increase his strength to enjoy the comfort of this battle. Bang bang, crackling. Then Fried is naturally very willing to confront Dino head-on. The same two fists condense the black light ball and Dino fights a simple physical competition. Two figures hit the air from the ground, and then hit the river from the sky. The aftermath of the two men's battle shattered the hillside that protruded from the ground. The water of the river is turbulent. Trees were knocked down with tall tree trunks. Peng. Up in the air. Dino punches Fried, knocking him out of the air. Smashed hard on the ground. A huge pit appeared, and Fried's demonic body was scarred. The two big horns on the head were also broken. Blood flows. Fried gasped and stood up with great difficulty, looking at Dino who was blocked by the sun in the air, and his heart was in unbearable pain. Ukai. Sure enough, Ukai. Powerful. Breathing heavily, he propped up his scarred body on the ground. A dogfight seems to be evenly divided. But in fact, only Fried understood that he was being suppressed from start to finish, and that Dino's fist was extremely painful. Every time he was able to fight, his blood surged. Same. He also noticed that Dino had been releasing water, otherwise he would have killed himself long ago according to his strength. It's boring. It's boring. I thought your demon body was strong. But now it seems that I think too much. Air. Dino's figure floated slowly. It was disappointing to see Fried dripping with blood. In vain, he used it seriously to receive magic, and directly received one of the most powerful souls. Who would have thought that Fried could be so weak? Or that his demon body is so weak, and his warm-up activities have just ended, and Fried can't do it. Cough. Hee hee. Fried smiled miserably. What is this? Humiliation? Satire? Head raised and roared. I will never lose. A black light glows on his body. Dark breath. Black swirling tornadoes swept into the sky from around Fried. Dino stayed silent. Feeling this slightly powerful move, I waited patiently for it to end. The tornado disappeared. Fried, who was originally on the ground, also disappeared. Impressively, he had already left the ground with the move just now and came behind Dino. Dark light bullet. Dino turned around, just in time to see Fried's hands up. The dark magic bullets condensed between his hands, aimed at Dino's body and shot them out. Whoosh! Dino was hit in the body. The figure fell into the river, and the agitated water splash was 10 meters high. Just when Fried thought he was dealing damage, the river rotates, dived towards the point where Dino fell into the water. The position in the middle of the river is divided by a circular column. The surrounding rivers are all galloping around the cylinder. Dino in the middle stood silently, looking up at Fried in the air. You have basically experienced your strength, so it's time to end the boring battle between us, Dino said. Body down. Immediately, the stones and soil at the bottom of the river were blasted out. A portal about 3 meters deep was stepped out. Dino's figure jumped out and slammed into Fried's body. Puff. Blood sprayed. Before Fried could react, his body was hit. The severe pain made him feel the pain he had never felt before. The cracking sound of broken bones also sounded in the body. He was about to lose consciousness. I want to lose consciousness now. Are you thinking too much? Dino's devilish voice whispered. Strength and speed increased. Targeting Fried is an attack. Blood sprayed from the air. Fried had been knocked out by the successive attacks. Fall from the air. Dino's receiving magic is also released. Fall to the ground. Then Lagosas, you're the only one left. Dino Brick looked at the cathedral in the city and said softly. Chapter 66, Dino, Lagosas, Thank Me.Fairy Guild. After Dino defeated Fried, the spell on the door was also updated for the first time. Dino vs Fried. Fried is seriously injured. The winner, Dino. The current number of people remaining, 11. Since then, in the entire guild civil war, Lagosas was the last opponent left. The other 10 are, Mirajane, Erza, Mystican, and Dino. And Natsu, Gajiel, Juvia, Lucy, Kana, and Levi who stayed in the guild. It's amazing. Brother Dino is indeed the most powerful, and he defeated the 3 Thors alone. Lucy was also very happy to see such a battle report. Master Dino, Juviado wants to accompany you to defeat all enemies. Dino, that guy is really good. Hey, Dino is indeed the most talented wizard in our guild. Juvia, Kana, and Levi also spoke in succession. 73. They are also very happy that Dino won. Makarov also had his hands behind his back and saw the remaining number of people calculating in his heart. At present, the battle strength here is very strong. If you want to come to Lagosas, you will no longer have the ability to make waves. Natsu, Gajiel, how can you be over 80? Looking at the 2 people who wanted to fight next to him, Makarov also angrily yelled at them. With Natsu and Gajiel, the odds of winning are even less suspenseful. How could I possibly be more than 80 years old? That's right, I'm still young. No matter how I think about it, I can't be more than 80 years old. The 2 objected. In this regard, Makarov just sighed and was unable to complain. How could he not be able to go out before he was 80 years old? Cathedral of Karushia. Lagosas had already fought Mystican. With the emergence of Erza also replaced a new opponent. Erza, you can't do it. You are not my opponent at all. The strongest backup is only me or Mystican. Lagosas attacked Erza again, and Erza put on the Thunder God's armor, which is against the Thunder attribute. but it is also easy to fight with Lagosas. Can the mere Thunder God's armor really withstand my lightning? Lightning flashes on Lagosas. Charge forward again and use the power of Thunderbolt to attack Erza with a series of thunderous attacks. Why, you can't deal with Dino at all right now, so you should admit defeat early, and you will really have no hope when he comes over. Erza said. I just learned that Dino defeated Freed. Although Freed was seriously injured, fortunately there was no major problem. Then the battle situation on the side of myself and others should soon attract Dino. Chopsticks. Dino, what is he? And he deserves to be compared with me. When he comes, I will shred him. Lagosas roared at Erza immediately after hearing the words. The expression on his face was extremely hideous. The thought of Dino's arrogant appearance made him angry. It's all that damn Dino interrupting his plans. Otherwise, the stinky old man would have given up any hope and handed over the position of chief to him. Hee. I hope you really have such courage when Dino comes. Erza sneered. The power of Dino is obvious to all. He can even play against O's, who used to be called the Holy Ten, which shows how strong his strength is. Lagosas are really good, but still not as good as Dino's. All she needs to do now is hold off until Dino gets here. At that time, the battlefield can be handed over to him, and she can deal with the more than 200 Shinming Hall Thunderballs in the air by herself. You're kidding me, aren't you? Dino is nothing. I'll kill you before he comes. Lagosas continued to rant. The body turns into a thunderbolt attack. Erza passive defense. The two soon fought together again. Each other's moves also swept the entire Karushia Cathedral with great power. Moment. The two are separated and face each other. The stone bricks and gravels on the ground were shaking slowly. The air was extremely anxious for a while. Da. Footsteps sounded outside the silent church. Someone is walking slowly. There was also a faint sound of dragging, as if there was something in his hand. Gah! At this time, a figure was thrown in from the outside and crashed into Lagosas. The latter immediately reached out and grabbed it. After seeing the person in his hand, his whole face became even more gloomy. Dino! Stab tilde. Thunder arcs raged, lashing in all directions of the cathedral, leaving potholes the size of a bowl. I saw that the figure in the hands of Lagosas was actually the captain of the Thunder Gods, Freed. At this moment, Freed's face was covered in blood, and one arm was twisted in an unreasonable shape. His clothes were tattered and muddy. At first glance, the whole person knew that he had suffered very inhuman abuse when he was sober. The air freezes. Everything around was extremely quiet. All that was left were the vaguely visible figures outside. Dino is here. He walked calmly into the Karushia Cathedral from the outside. He had a heartwarming smile on his face. The eyes are no longer the kind of state that never sleeps. Dino is sober at the moment, very awake. Dino. Thorn Lala dash. The arc swirled around Lagosas' body. The whole person is like an awakened lion. There was an aura of tyranny and destruction all around him. Lagosas. Thank me for being kind enough to not kill your Thor. Dino's head tilted slightly. The eyes are very excited to look at the opposite Lagosas. Chops. I must shred you. Lagosas was furious. Reached out and threw Freed to the stone pillar next to him, rubbing his fists tightly. The veins on the face and fist exploded like a powder keg about to burst. Lagosas, you are really revenge for your kindness. I didn't kill your Thunder Gods, and you still don't thank me. It really sucks. Dino walked to Erza's side and looked at the fainted Freed with killing intent. Lagosas' heart skipped a beat, although he is confident to beat Dino. But if 3.7 Dino doesn't fight with himself and just wants to kill Freed, there's really no way to stop it. This guy. Why do you like killing people so much? Lagosas didn't understand. Dino, I'll leave it to you here. I'll go out and destroy the Thunderballs in the Hall of Gods. Erza is leaving. As long as she didn't kill anyone, she even hoped that Dino would teach Lagosas a hard lesson. Not for anything else, just because he was the initiator of the guild civil war. That's enough to get him an education. No need. Before the countdown is over, I will deal with Lagosas. Even if I can't invalidate the Divine Singing Hall, I can easily deal with it. Dino waved his hand in rejection. Those Thunderballs in the Temple of the Gods are hard to deal with. Even Erza would have to spend a lot of time, so it's better to let him deal with it alone. Chapter 67, Thunder's Destruction Magic. Ha 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 ha. When Lagosas heard the words, he immediately raised his head and screamed. Joke of Dino's ignorance. With a mocking expression on his face, he said, Dino, you are so ignorant that you are so ignorant. The Hall of Divine Sounds has life connection magic. If you break anyone, you will be attacked by thunder. How many can you break? Dino didn't speak. Lightning arcs began to appear on his body. Why, I heard that Dino, you can use a variety of dragon-slaying spells, so what are you going to do with me? Lagosas said. Although he said that he didn't care about Dino at all, he couldn't get in the way. But in fact, the information I learned from the smelly old man before clearly stated that Dino can use a variety of dragon-slaying magic. Lightning and fire properties are the most frequently used. In addition, there are other types of dragon-slaying magic, which sounds quite tricky. At this time, Lagosas suddenly realized that the thunder arc on Dino was different from his own. Or the colors are different. The thunder arc on Dino turned out to be a black thunder. From this kind of black thunder, Lagosas also felt that something was not good, as if he restrained himself very much. But, How is it possible? 16. The thunder god killing magic, a god killing magic that only gods have. Its power is all above the dragon killing magic. Perhaps it was to perceive the confusion of Lagosas. Dino's unabashed explanation. In the face of the powerful strength, even Dino told Lagosas the direction of his attack, but he couldn't resist. This is his confidence. Destroy magic? Both Erza and Lagosas exclaimed in unison. From their eyes, it can be seen that they are also surprised by this brand new magic. Godslayer's magic is the same as Dragon Slayer, and even more powerful than Dragon Slayer magic. Erza couldn't believe it. The look in Dino's eyes became even more curious. Every time I see Dino take a shot, he feels more mysterious. It seems that the same magic has never been used to fight, and each time it is able to give a new look. Dino is indeed the most mysterious existence in the guild. How is it possible? How can there be a god-killing magic more powerful than dragon-killing magic in this world? Of course Lagosas wouldn't believe it. After speaking, the yellow lightning arc on his body hit Dino. Stab stab tilde. The thunder arc attacked with powerful destructive power. Dino was unmoved. The black thunder arc on his body actively protects the master, and any black thunder will smash his yellow thunder. Just like this, it can be seen that the Thunder God destruction magic is indeed stronger than the Thunder Dragon Slayer magic. Chops. Impossible. Pulling a roar, his fists were full of thunder and attacked Dino. The latter also hung black thunderbolts on his hands. Standing in place, raised his right fist and collided with Lagosas. Rumble 1. The shockwave from the collision blew the surrounding rubble away. Erza also passively blocked his eyes, and stepped back again and again to distance himself from Dino and Lagosas. The battle between the two is also very strong. It was superfluous for her to continue to stay, and she turned round and ran out. If you plan to disobey the advice, you will first get rid of the Shinming Temple in the sky. When Lagosas' fist was blocked, his right leg, as hard as steel, swept towards Dino's waist. Dino takes the blow. The place where the right leg collided with the waist made a sharp sound of ginge colliding. Dino contributes. The earth began to smash towards Mo-Yan, who was crisscrossed like a spider web around. The stone bricks and walls couldn't bear Dino's force and began to crack one after another. A little ash also fell from the wall. Stab. The black arc of thunder began to rage. Thunder arcs pass through the gaps in the stone bricks, and the ground, walls, stone pillars, etc. cannot all be protected from thunder arcs. Numerous black thunders carry the body around Dino. The stone bricks under his feet were shattered. The shattered pebble couldn't maintain its state and was consumed by the black thunder. Opposite, Lagosas felt the violent black thunder and understood that it would be a tough battle next. The yellow thunder arcs that belonged to him also continued to condense. Polarization inside the Cathedral of Karushia. The black thunderbolt and the yellow thunderbolt each occupy half of the country. These two colors are the only ones seen in the entire church. Bang bang rumbling. The pothole in the ground exploded, and Dino mastered the black lightning and rushed towards Lagosas. I will never lose. Lagosas also roared wildly, and instantly collided with Dino. Add fists. Clash between fist and fist. It belongs to the control and contest of thunder and lightning alone. Don't let anyone. Both Dino and Lagosas attack with the most primitive fighting style. Physical battle. The fist to the flesh. The violent thunder arc invades the opponent's body. Want to numb each other. Reduce the opponent's speed and physical defense. Boom. Separate again. Dino was punched several times, but it will soon disappear. Look at the other side. Lagosas was panting, and there were many scars on his face and body. Although he is strong, but facing Dino is still a lot weaker. Lagosas has yet to show his dragon-slaying magic. But Dino also uses only the magic of the Thunder God. Even Dino is only in the warm-up phase. You bastard. Lagosas reached out and tore his clothes to shreds. Uncertainty between the eyebrows. There were many collisions between the two in a short period of time. Also understand each other's status. Although he doesn't want to admit it, Lagosas must understand that the Dino in front of him is really strong. I will never lose. Lagosas roars. The huge magical power was released, and it suppressed Dino's black thunder for a while. Peng. Use your strength to smash the ground and rush up again. At the same time, 673 thunder and lightning clouds condensed above the heads of the two people fighting. The cloud was yellow. It was filled with more maddening lightning. Once it falls, its power will far exceed the previous ones. Come on, let me feel your power. Dino responded. The black thunder on the body dissipated, and the next second appeared yellow thunder and fiery red flames. It's Thunder Dragon Slayer magic and Fire Dragon Slayer magic. You bastard die. Lagosas shouted heartily. The fist carried bolting cut through the air and made bursts of harsh, high-pitched sounds. The surrounding air seemed to be unbearable. The power of this punch is astonishing, and it is definitely not something that ordinary S-rank mages can resist. However, Dino showed no signs of weakness, merging with thunder and fire. Collide with it. Boom. Fist bump. The aftermath overturned the stone bricks. The stone bricks on the ground of the entire cathedral were overturned. Leak the dirt under the stone bricks. Bang, bang, bang. Glass shatters. The window glass of the entire cathedral did not last even a second. Gah. Handsome. Both fist bumps. Dino hit Lagosas with a little force. His body was knocked flying, and he slammed into the wall with a big hole and fell to the ground. It didn't even stop when it was on the ground. Only stop after plowing the ground out of a 3-meter deep hook. Chapter 68, Waiting to Die If You Don't Fight Back. Thunder and angry waves. Lagosas stood up and shouted angrily. I saw the thunder cloud floating above, and above the head instantly burst into light. A yellow thunder arc like a wandering dragon fell from the thunder cloud, completely fall on Dino's body. Stab. Peng. A big bit appeared. Dino was punched out of a huge hole from a distance of 3 meters. The thunder arc has not disappeared. Ha ha ha, I am the strongest. Ha ha ha. Lagosas roared in the sky, proud of the spring breeze. It seemed to him that Dino had been stunned by the blow. Kakaka. The sound of swallowing and crunching sounded from the thunder arc. Lagosas hurried to look. I saw Dino tearing at the surrounding thunder arc with both hands and stuffing it into his mouth. Brownie. Lightning was eaten. Dino wiped his mouth in a dignified manner. Thank you for the hospitality. It's still the same attribute of Dragon Slayer magic. Dino answered. No wonder Halong likes killing dragons so much. This taste is really good. Damn it. Lagosas was angry. This Dino is obviously quite restrained. He can eat Lhu, and the blackness before that also made him unable to exert a stronger strength at all. Why does such a person exist? Too restrained. Then is it time for the battle to come to an end? Dino thought. The arc of lightning dissipated. The next second Dino takes a weird pose. I saw Dino leaning, his left hand touching the ground down, and his right hand leaning towards the sky. Just when Lagosas didn't know what to do, suddenly, the sky has turned dark. Everything around seems to enter another mysterious space. What's this? Lagosas couldn't believe it. What kind of move could turn the entire sky into darkness? He couldn't believe it. A magic circle appeared from above. Lagosas suddenly discovered that there was a burning flame star falling in the black blondened sky. True celestial magic star collapse. Magic emerges. The star of the flame fell extremely fast, and the place where it hit was the top of Lagosas' head. Damn it, how is it possible? I'm not convinced. Lagosas couldn't believe it. He roared and resisted, unable to accept this scene. He was reluctant to admit that this trick was used by Dino. The flaming stars in the sky were still descending that day, falling like a meteorite that destroys the world. Gee, Lagosas take flight. His body swelled, and his arms appeared like dragon scales, with protruding teeth in his mouth. He's about to use his own Thunder Dragon Slayer magic, Thunder Dragon Fang Tanchi. The lightning tool turned into a square halberd 7 or 8 meters long. Shoot at high speed towards the falling star in the sky. Gaboom! The star shattered, and the star that turned into countless fragments slowly disappeared during the fall. Lagosas fall. Before he could say anything, the Dino in front of him disappeared. Iron Dragon Slayer Magic Iron Dragon Sword. Sky Dragon Slayer Magic Middle. Galloping Wind. Power of Steel Arm. Power of Armor. Celestial Spirit Magic Middle. Zodiac Middle. Ugly Bull Celestial Spirit Clothes. Blade of Dragon Slayer Magic. Crazy Blade. Magical Release. Dino's hands come together to form a jagged Iron Dragon Sword. Then use the ability of the 3 additional attributes of Tanlong, and the blessing is speed, strength and defense. Use Celestial Spirit Magic Ugly Bull Celestial Spirit's special power to increase the body again, and the sharpness of the Blade Dragon in the follow-up centenary mission. Dino with a variety of ability bonuses. If he wants to, he can even slash Lagosas with one knife. But, in the end, it didn't do that. The Iron Dragon Sword crossed from Lagosas' left shoulder to his right waist. The serrations on the Iron Dragon Sword are like arm teeth, tearing Lagosas' body. Puff. Blood spilled. Blood spurted out, spilling on the ground, causing Lagosas to roar in pain. The upper body was dripping with blood in an instant. Bone-deep wounds have left Lagosas with scars. Puff. Lagosas fell to the ground. The blood flowed continuously, dyeing the ground blood red. His face was pale and his strength was draining. How? Dino stood in front of Lagosas and looked down at him. His eyes were deep and playful. What a beautiful Lagosas once. How come you can't afford to fall to the ground? Where is your pride, self-confidence, and strength? Dino asked. The voice was quiet, but the influx of Lagosas' eardrums is unusually harsh. Want to shout back. The wound on his chest also brought him indelible pain. He can't say that much. How embarrassed he is at the moment. As long as you admit your mistake and honestly go to the old man to admit that all this is your fault, I can spare you. Dino is persuading Lagosas, not even killing him. The only way is to let Lagosas admit his fault. Although it is said that Dino did not have a good time in this battle, but he is willing to give Lagosas a chance to admit his mistake. Hey, impossible. Absolutely impossible. I will definitely become the strongest magician. Lagosas whispered. He forced his body to stand up from the ground, and the blood on his body had dyed the whole person red. That yellow thunder is still brewing. The whole person looks quite ferocious, and if it were another person, he might indeed be overwhelmed with fright. But here at the moment is Dino. With a harmless smile on his face, Lagosas nodded in admiration when he saw that his legs were still shaking. Okay, you have the seeds. Just because you can stand up, I, Dino, are willing to call you the strongest in the guild. Dino admired. Without waiting for Lagosas to speak, he raised his hand and waved. Healing magic. A green magic force surrounded Lagosas. The bloody wound was also healing. For a moment, Lagosas did no harm except for the blood and physical strength consumed. Are you humiliating me? Lagosas' face was extremely gloomy, and the tall man who took a step forward also lowered his head and looked down at Dino. Dino shrugged. I've won the first round, so let's start the second round. Gah! As soon as the voice fell, Dino's figure disappeared. The excruciating pain came from the lower abdomen. Wang Zhao Zhao. Lagosas was kicked out instantly. It's not finished yet. Dino's voice sounded behind Lagosas. Another kick kicked him away again. A time. Throughout the cathedral, I saw Lagosas' body being constantly carried to and fro. Every time you get hit, Lagosas suffers severe pain. Last kick. Dino kicked Lagosas to the ground with a roundhouse kick from a high altitude. Boom. Ground smash. Cobweb-like cracks crisscrossed all around. Cough cough. Cough cough. Blood spit out of Lagosas' mouth again. He crouched down on his knees and fell to the ground, gushing blood. What are you doing? Are you waiting to die if you don't fight back? Dino's figure came to Lagosas in an instant. His right foot was thrown back and his eyes were cold. Peng. Kick it hard again. Lagosas' body was kicked up high and smashed through the roof of the cathedral. Chapter 69. Dragon Sword Dance. Fire. Dragon's Roar. Iron Dragon's Roar. Two roars of Dragon Slayer followed closely and spat out of the cathedral. Grey and fiery red are intertwined, forming a tornado that hits Lagosas in the air again. Damn it! Lagosas are in pain. The body flashed with lightning, and the ferocious hands were slightly folded and aimed at Dino below. I am the strongest. Destroy it. Smash it. Disappear everything. Law of the Goblin. A huge magic circle covering the entire sky appeared. Incomparably dazzling light emerged from Lagosas' hands. Covered in white light. Everyone in the whole city is surrounded by this light. Dino stands with his hands behind his back. What he can be sure of is that it is absolutely impossible for Lagosas to destroy himself. Despite his many provocations, even if the Lagosas who fight every time are going to be crazy, the law of the Goblin is still useless. However, in order to prevent danger, Dino is always ready. The white light is gone. Lagosas in the air was panting. The previous blood loss and the battle with Dino cost him a lot of mana. Now that the law of the Goblin is played out again, it is naturally a lot of consumption. But it's all worth it to win. Ha ha ha. I am indeed the strongest. Lagosas laughed wildly, although he was beaten very embarrassingly, even though he was almost killed 677 times. But doesn't the final victory still belong to him? Then Dino was naive enough to think he would reform himself. He was never wrong. Why should he change? So excited for a while. But for a moment, his excited spirit was not very good, and a strong sense of loss emerged. It seems that killing so many people didn't give him any comfort. Lagosas, in fact, you have never regarded the members of the guild as enemies in your heart. Magic will not deceive people. Dino levitated. Looking at Lagosas from a distance, he said. The latter's heart was beating wildly, and he hurriedly looked at the rest of the guild. As a result, those people were all at a loss, and where there was death, all of them were alive and intact. How is it possible? Absolutely not. Lagosas denies. He didn't want to believe this scene. After talking to himself for a moment, he stared at Dino. But even if other people are alive, why do you have nothing at all? You are definitely not my companion. Lagosas said. Listen to this. Dino's mouth twitched slightly. This damn Lagosas really lacks social beatings. Dude, I am so rude to you. Do you think dude I have no temper? In the next second, the magic power is also released. Nonsense so much. I must teach you a lesson today, said and rushed up again. Lagosas would never dodge, and immediately wrapped thunder around his body and fought Dino in blood. Roar of Thunder Dragon. Thunder Dragon's collapse fist. The jaw of Thunder Dragon. Thunder Dragon Fang Danji. Lagosas used his dragon slaying magic trick after trick, and so does Dino. The dragon slayer magic of various attributes can also be used with ease. Two people turned into two rays of light intertwined in the air, played back and forth. Below, Erza and the others also saw the two fighting over there. My heart is silently cheering for Dino. Lagosas, you still can't do it. You can't see the power of Dino at all. Erza muttered to himself. After finishing speaking, he turned his head to look at the thunderballs of the shrine hall in the sky and began to prepare to destroy all moves with one blow. Dino hits very comfortably. The punch to the flesh also made him even more excited. Ha ha ha, not bad, very good. Lagosas, you are the only opponent in the entire guild who can fight me for so long. Dino levitated and laughed. Although not using too many powerful moves, but Dino is indeed very comfortable to play, worthy of being a dragon slayer, and the use of physical strength and ability is beyond imagination. Humphrey, you can force it too. Lagosas snorted coldly, scolding Dino to death in his heart. In terms of strength, he always thought that he was the most powerful candidate in the guild, but after a fight with Dino in front of him, he realized how ignorant he was before. The Thunder Dragon Slayer magic that he is proud of is completely invincible in front of Dino. That Dino's abilities are simply endless. Flame, thunder, steel, sky, white, shadow. He knows all kinds of Dragon Slayer magic, especially the Sky Dragon Slayer magic. This is simply a huge problem. Eating air can restore physical strength. What's wrong with your sister? And that white light, which carries sacred magic. The black light also made him feel quite troublesome. Something like a blade dragon appears from time to time. These are dragon-slaying magic that he has never seen before. How could it appear on one person? Playing with Dino is quite frustrating. Then go ahead. Dino smiled, thunder and flame possessed. Dino took a deep breath, his chest bulging and his mouth wide open. Lianlong's roar, more violent power to use again. Then Lagosas can only dodge, and his stamina and magic will be consumed even more if he collides. Haha, you can't run away. Dino laughed and spread his hands. One hand is covered with white light. The other hand is covered in black light. At this moment, he is using the magic of the White Dragon and the Shadow Dragon. Joint strike. Holy Shadow Dragon Tooth Flash. The power of white light and shadow merged and wrapped together. Form a huge white shadow light ball and hit Lagosas' foothold at a very fast speed. Damn. Lagosas saw the combined strikes and understood that it was definitely not easy. The lightning arcs on his body flickered. Roaring. Dragon Extermination Profound Truth. You lie. Dragon Slayer Profound Truth smashes Dino's casually created combo skills. He hit Dino with all his strength, and he was about to smash his whole body with one blow. Dragon Slaying Profound Truth. I will too, Dino said. The blades of the surrounding one after another slashed, and the whole person seemed to be turned into a sharp knife. Eyes with infinite power. His hands were surrounded by white light like a laser. Dragon Slayer Profound Truth. Dragon Sword Dance. Brush brush dash. Dino's hands cut back and forth in front of him. Moment. The Dragon Slayer Profound Truth of Lagosas was cut off like this. Damn. Lagosas was speechless. He really can't figure out what the hell is this. What kind of dragon is the Blade Dragon? I have never heard of it. It seems that your skills have almost bottomed out. If so, let me smash your dream of being a strong man completely with the last blow. Dino said. Fire started to appear around. Unlike before, this time the flame temperature is terrifyingly high. There are even signs of burning the air. The whole person was surrounded by flames, like a nuclear bomb about to explode. I will never lose. Lagosas will naturally not admit defeat. Thunder brewing again. Dragon Slaying Profound Truth. Ming Yulai. Chapter 70. Don't do this. Too embarrassing. The thunderous attack is a menacing attack. Dino smiled. The right fist started to burn, and the temperature kept rising. Dragon Slaying Profound Truth. Shiranui type. Red Lotus Phoenix Sword. Release a certain amount of magic in the body. The whole body is surrounded by golden flames, and then rushes at a speed beyond the past. Like a razor-sharp sword, the dragon-killing mystery that pierced Lagosas instantly came to Lagosas himself. Goodbye Lagosas. So softly. An explosion of power smashes Lagosas from the air to the ground. Rumbling dash. After all, Karushia Cathedral failed to last until the end, and collapsed between violent collisions and conflicts. The wall is full of cracks, and it can't hold on to the fall. Then Lagosas also lay silently in the middle of the portal. He stared blankly at the huge stone that was slowly smashing towards him. Are you going to die? Lagosas suddenly felt that the so-called strongest was not that important. Wake up. Regasa doesn't know if he counts or not, but it doesn't matter anymore. Juang. The stone did not fall on him. Lagosas looked at the figure blocking the sun and was furious. What are you doing? Let that big rock hit me to death. Looking at Dino's smiling face, I can't wait to slap him. It's all this guy, otherwise his plan went absolutely smoothly. Haha. If the old man knew that you were dead, he wouldn't be able to stand it. If you want me to tell you, it's better for you to cheer up. Dino also didn't care about Lagosas' tone. After crushing all the big stones, he sat down with Lagosas. Hey, Dino, how can you do so much Dragon Slayer magic? Wait a long time. Lagosas also asked weakly. Whether it is Geiji Lornatsu and himself, there is only one kind of dragon slaying magic. And what about Dino? 6, 7? Who knows if he has any other type of dragon slaying magic? Dragon Slayer magic, I know quite a lot. Just treat me with a lot of Dragon Slayer crystals. Dino responded. Lagosas said nothing. The two fell silent again. By the way, I'll give you treatment. No matter what you say, it will take several months to recover. Dino said quickly. Healing magic. Raise your hand and cast out a magic spell. The green light appeared, and Lagosas' body was warmly restored to life. Moments of damage have been repaired. What kind of magic is your magic? Lagosas sighed that this kind of magic is powerful, and he also wondered if he could learn it and see if he could learn it. Sky Dragon Slayer magic. After answering, Dino also thought that he could go to Wendy after he rested. That little girl is so cute. It is estimated that her Anan will be very happy when she sees Carla. After all, happy is a lick. Anan estimates that she will only have a better relationship with Carla. There are so many dragon slaying spells. The Sky Dragon Slayer spell is the most problematic, and it can be recovered by eating air. Lagosas was speechless when he heard the answer. This dragon slaying magic is the biggest problem, and if two people fight, there is absolutely no need to worry. With air, you can achieve unlimited physical strength. Ha ha ha, I met the Cat Demon's Nest Guild before, and I also saw the sorcerer who owns the Sky Dragon Slayer. She is a very cute little girl. I feel that the charm of our guild will also attract you. Dino laughed. Right. Lagosas sneered, seemingly thinking of something interesting. Dino also looked at Lagosas with a playful look. Speaking of that, Dragon Slayer has a kitten in the sky, and Natsu also has a kitten, and I also have a kitten. It's enough to see that Dragon Slayer has a kitten. I think you should find one too, Lagosas. Cat. Dino had a smirk on his face. Lagosas' entire face darkened and he did not respond. But when I thought about it, I suddenly realized that what Dino said seemed very reasonable. Everyone has cats, why don't I? Suddenly, Lagosas wanted to find a cat. Tilda. A scream suddenly sounded. Both Lagosas and Dino looked outside suspiciously. Suddenly, I remembered that the god Mina in the sky has not been dealt with. This scream should be Erza's. Dino quickly got up and rushed outside. Seeing Erza lying on the ground and looking at the sky, those gods had disappeared, and she had already solved it just now. You're really fighting hard enough. Didn't you tell me to deal with this thing? Dino stepped forward. Use healing magic to heal Erza. It's okay, I can't do nothing, Erza said. Dino's mouth twitched. He crouched on the ground and directly hugged Erza, rolled up Erza and walked towards the guild. Wait, Dino. Let me down. It's so embarrassing. Don't do that. Within the guild, the battle has come to an end, and although it caused a lot of momentum, it ended successfully in the end. At this moment, the entire guild is full of excitement. Ha Natsu, you are so rude. You didn't even go out from the beginning to the end. Damn it, blame this spell, or I will definitely defeat you. Thief. Gajiel, what do you mean? You want to fight? Come and come, you fire-breathing boy. Blah blah blah. For a time, the guild is now in chaos. The wine glass, table, Happy, and Anne were all smashed on Dino's head. Snoring, and Dino was still sound asleep. After the battle, Dino reverted back to that dead fisheye that didn't wake up. Automatically block the mess around. In this battle, Dino is the one with the greatest contribution, first to defeat Thor, and finally to defeat Lagosas. For flowers. Erza didn't rest upstairs. Sitting beside Dino quietly sighed. His eyes were full of relief and satisfaction. Golem. Kana drinks beside. He patted the table with a dizzy face and laughed. Dino, it's yours. It's a man I liked by Kana. Bang bang bang. A series of slaps slapped Dino's head. Every time I patted it, the table made a creaking sound. Erza looked dark. Lucy and Levy were also beside them with smiling grins. Da. The sound of footsteps came over. Lagosas walked from the outside of the guild to the inside. For a while, all the people in the guild stopped making noises and looked at Lagosas angrily. Where's the old man? Lagosas asked. Immediately, the entire guild was clamoring, one by one holding weapons in their hands to block Lagosas' path. Damn it, do you still have the face to meet the president? It's all your fault for hurting everyone. We must give us an explanation. Stop arguing. Erza took the initiative to stand up to stop the noisy guild members. Go to Lagosas. After scanning him up and down, he also said, the president is in the treatment room at the back. The old man is old, and he is a little uncomfortable when you are angry. Lagosas didn't answer. Sideways past Erza towards the back treatment room. Lagosas, let's decide the winner. I won't let the strongest in the guild come out. Natsu roared and ran over. Throughout the guild civil war, Natsu and Gajiel never fought Lagosas from the beginning to the end. My heart was already itching. When encountering such an opportunity, it is natural to jump out immediately and plan to have a showdown with Lagosas. Never mind. Lagosas staggered away and waved to the backyard. Sunset. Under the orange sunset, Magnolia is bustling. A large number of citizens and members of the Mage Guild stood on the street and whispered. Every now and then, I stand on my toes and look at the perfectly decorated cars that are gradually approaching in the distance. I am very envious. The magic parade begins. The rest of the guild danced their youth on it. Snoring. The same is true for Dino, but he plays a sleeping prince. It is also a true performance. Suddenly, all guild members raise their right hands, thumbs and forefingers facing the sky. Send a message to Lagosas. Even if you can't see the figure, even if the two places are far apart, we will always watch you and protect you forever. The magic parade reaches its peak. The sleeping prince, Dino, also slowly opened his eyes, yawned and swept across the empty alley. Lagosas, the battle with you is still fresh in my memory. I hope there will be a chance to learn from each other in the future. Dino muttered to himself. Chapter 71, The Day When Fate Met. 6. The harvest season ends in a week. During this time, most of the guild members were recovering from injuries. Of course, there are also a few people who don't have any injuries but still like to do nothing, like Natsu, Gajiel, Erza, Dino and more. Among them, Dino even asked the president to give them a holiday in the name of Kaigogo's protest. The chairman was stubborn but had to agree. A week of tasks have not been posted. At the same time, Lagosas was also expelled from the guild for maliciously hurting his comrades. Although this is quite normal, Dino still misses playing with Lagosas after all. Although the whole process is Lagosas picking up the fight, but it was the first time he had seen someone so resistant to beatings, and he was somewhat nostalgic. It is worth mentioning that with the departure of Lagosas, the Thors are not as busy as they used to be. He spends most of his time getting along with the members of the guild. 677. Only the three of Thor's congregation have a deep reverence for Dino. It was enough to see that Dino's strength also frightened Thor and the others, and they didn't even dare to say a word. Dino, let's go on a date. Kana sat next to Dino and took photos, and it's been a long time since she felt wrapped in warmth. She also somewhat misses it. And the first goal is to choose Dino. Snoring. It's a pity that Dino didn't wake up from a deep sleep. Why does brother Dino feel exhausted every day? Kana. Haven't you been with brother Dino lately? Lucy drinks his drink curiously. Since I met Dino, I have been sleeping in my spare time except for fights. Can a person really be so sleepy? Maybe it's because the house prices are too high on the Arcane Holiday Paradise. Kana isn't quite sure. Huh? What do you mean? Lucy asked hurriedly. She knew of Arcane's Holiday Paradise, and had been there before. Anon, who was sitting on the table drinking pots of milk, raised her small paws to speak. Kana and Lucy also looked away at the little guy. Dino want to buy a house in Arcane, but the house over there is too expensive, and the money we earn is not enough. So he is very depressed. Anon replied. Listen to this. Kana and Lucy got it, too. Thinking about it, it feels very normal. Arcana is the most famous resort in the kingdom. It's absolutely f-king expensive to buy a property there. It can't be said that it is several times more expensive than buying it in Wangdu. Speaking of which, how has Lucy been feeling lately? Kana looked at Lucy bored. Lucy didn't know, so he shook his head. You have to be careful today, Tilda. Kana has a smile on her face. What do you mean? Lucy asked. Fate avoidance. Today is your lucky day, and the one who meets you will also be on this day. Kana smiled mysteriously. Lucy suddenly panicked. True God, just today? Who'll it be? Lucy. At this time, suddenly Dino woke up. Brother Dino. Lucy says hi. Dino nodded and looked at Lucy earnestly while rubbing his chin. You'll have to pay the rent soon. Immediately, Lucy pulls all over, with a face full of lovelessness. Brother Dino, can I delay for a while? Miss Leprechaun, I lost the second place. There is no bonus. Suddenly, Dino's entire face was tangled together. This is really hard to do. There are not many things that he values most, among which Anne is the first. The second position is your own woman. The third is money. But now does Lucy owe money? How does that happen? Then do you want to go over and do the task? I have seen a very simple task before, and the reward is very rich, enough for you to pay the rent. Dino asked back. Huh? But, Lucy hesitated. But Kana said that today is her destiny's escape. Maybe she can really meet the right man. Is it bad to just leave? After thinking about it, she hesitated. Yeah, Lucy's real son is Dino. Right now, Lucy, you have no rent to pay. Then there must be tasks, and there are very few tasks at this time. It may be fate that Dino invited you. This is really possible. Kana's bright eyes flickered. After hearing this, Lucy also widened his Kazlan's eyes. His face turned red all of a sudden. Brother Dino. Really? It seems that there is a real possibility. Suddenly Lucy's heart thumped. Kana and Anne are also together. This mission may take a few days, and we can also play 2 more days on the road. Dino didn't care what Kana said. It seems inconvenient to continue to invite and stay in the guild. In addition, Dino felt that leaving the guild was the most correct choice. Maybe something interesting can happen. Dino is not too sure. Then, that's good. Okay. Lucy blushed and agreed. And after agreeing, he immediately got up and ran outside, returning home to prepare the luggage and things for the trip. And Kana also touched her white chin in silence. Then let's go together. I said. Dino, are you lost? In a vast forest, 3 people and 1 cat were resting. Kana rubbed her calf and asked Dino, who was still gesturing with a map. Cough cough, I'll find it soon. Dino embarrassedly touched the bridge of his nose and continued to fight with the map in his hand. Dino brother, why don't we give up? In fact, we can find the target very quickly. Whether it is Kana's divination or Dino's nose, you can do it. Lucy also advised. Anne sat on Dino's head, and the little paws grabbed his hair and was sullen. Khan, you have to believe me, Dino complained. This time they came out to take on the task of helping a lady find jewelry with millions of gold, and the reward is 300,000 gold. It can be said that people are stupid and have a lot of money. For this reason, Dino said before he set off that he could find it without divination at all. Who would have thought that it would be dark today, let alone looking for jewelry, and now it is even more directly lost in the forest. Hiss. Dino took a deep breath. Suddenly stunned, his eyes looked in one direction in the forest and were also stunned. Any enemy? Kana quickly took out the card and prepared to defend against 0.0 defense. Lucy also grabbed his keys and looked in the direction Dino was looking. Don't be nervous, I just accidentally smelled the same kind of smell. Dino spoke quickly. Similar smell? Both Kana and Lucy wondered what Dino was talking about. Dino nodded. The smell of Dragon Slayer. Kana, please divination where we are. Kana agrees. The cards in their hands began to divination, and their positions were quickly determined. The lodging of the demon cat. Dino raised his eyebrows, unexpectedly coming to the vicinity of the demon cat's house guild. Want to stop by and see? Kana asked. Everyone is a regular sorcerer's guild who wants to come and stay overnight, right? Okay, come and have a look. Dino agrees. The main reason for this is naturally because of rest, and then to meet that lovely girl, Wendy. Chapter 72, The House of the Demon Cat. Carla and Wendy. 7. See if we can abduct Wendy ahead of time. After thinking of this idea, Dino also touched Anne on his head and felt that it should be feasible. Speaking of the demon cat's house, I don't seem to be very famous for the knowledge that they have never been to this guild. On the way, Lucy rubbed her tired face as she recalled. Indeed, especially the guild with Dragon Slayer. You must know that whether it is Geiji or Natsu, the destructive power of Dragon Slayer's fights is also amazing. but the dragon slayer of this demon cat's home is not very famous. Kana also admitted. Speaking of dragon slayer, Natsu comes to mind. Every time Natsu goes out on a mission, he destroys a lot of buildings. So the sudden appearance of a dragon slayer that didn't cause big trouble also made her curious. Famous? Dino chuckles. Isn't Wendy famous? Thinking about it, it's true. There are very few dragon-slaying spells learned at a young age. Not even the dragon slayer. Profound truth. It's okay not to be famous. Discussions all the way. Come here quickly. A guild built like a tribe came into view. Hello, old man, you are 16. We are members of the Fairy Tale Guild. Would you like to spend the night here? Enter the demon cat's house. Lucy politely stepped forward to greet the busy old man. Kana wasn't drinking at this time either, and Dino's eyes swept across the shadows visible to the naked eye. Really? All these people are thoughts. The president of this demon cat's house is really terrifying, and can maintain the missing body for such a long time. I'm afraid he is also one of the few powerful people in this world. Welcome to you. I'm Robin Lu, the president of the demon cat's house, and welcome everyone from the Fairy Tale Guild. At this time, an old man came out of the tribe, with a white beard and a hunched back. It also gives a sense of stability. Hello. Dino stepped forward to say hello. Then Robin Lu looked up and looked at Dino and nodded lightly. The eyes of the two collided and they knew a lot of things in an instant. Hello, President Robin Lu. We are here to do a mission. We just got lost and wanted to stay overnight. Is it convenient for you? Dino asked. That Robin Lu nodded. Come on. We still like to entertain guests at our Demon Cat Inn. I just happened to introduce the members of our guild to you. As he spoke, he led Dino and his group of 3 and a cat into a certain room. There was a little girl sitting in the room at the moment. There was a pure white kitten beside the little girl. It's Wendy and Carla from the Demon Cat's Lodge. Both sides look at each other. Immediately it was excellent, especially the listless and on Dino's head. After meeting the kitten's eyes, he was also full of energy. So cute. Kana and Lucy also exclaimed behind them. He was also shocked by Carla's appearance, although Anan is said to be cuter, but in fact that is also the case with Molulu. President, who are they? The little girl with blue long hair. Wendy and Dino also dodged shyly after looking at each other. It was obvious that the stranger was a little flustered. Hi, my name is Dino, and I'm a member of the Fairy Tale Guild. Dino walked up to the introduction of the former gentleman with a smile on his face, and picked up Anan from his head and introduced again. Her name is Anan, the same as your kitten. You. Hello. My name is Wendy. Wendy's voice is crisp and clear. Carla stared and moved her little feet to Anan. The two cats stared at each other with wide-eyed eyes, but Dino could see that Anan was a little scared. Probably because Carla was an unfamiliar kitten. I vaguely remember that Anan was scared when he first saw Happy. Hi, my name is Carla. Carla is very good. Probably because she thinks Anan is cute, and she doesn't have that princess-like tsundere attitude. Very polite. Anan was a little nervous grabbing Dino's clothes. However, he stepped forward quickly. The voice Nuo introduced with a baby voice. My name is Anan. Dino smiled. I suddenly found that Anan seems to be smaller than Carla, and her voice doesn't seem to be too loud. Lucy and Kana were also curious to see such a cute scene. Wendy and Dino also looked back and forth on the two kittens. Regardless of age or stature, Anan is indeed a younger sister. Dino answered. In fact, Anan was so big when she came to Dino's side. In terms of age, it's only about 3 years old. However, considering that it was given to him by the sign-in system, it is not possible to use common sense to do so. The two kittens were unfamiliar at first. We chatted happily after a short while. Probably because children didn't have so much scheming. Here, Dino and the others also talked with Wendy and the chairman Robinman. What mission do you guys do? Let's talk about it. We are familiar with this area, maybe we can give you some help. Robin Lu took the initiative to ask when he was ready to eat and drink. Just looking for a more expensive piece of jewelry, similar in style to round beads, Dino replied. In fact, he didn't think there was any clue to the Demon Cat's house. To know that their mission location has been deviated, unless the jewelry has legs to run by itself. All? Wendy also looked at Dino after hearing the words. He quickly lowered his head and asked Carla, did we pick up something small when he came? Carla and Anan were having fun and nodded when they heard the words. Take a ball from a place in the room where you put things. It was the jewelry necklace Dino was looking for. I didn't expect to be picked up by you. In this case, I will send it to you after I have received the reward for the task. Dino sighed. I just thought that I couldn't fall here. I never thought that I would be slapped in the face in the next second. No. We're just taking it easy. Wendy quickly waved her hand in rejection, and Lucy and Kana both knew it was Wendy and Carla's fault. It's alright, the things you picked up, so the 680 rewards naturally belong to you. 300,000 gold is also a lot of money, so you can take it. The two women declined. Wendy is naturally impossible. You come to me on both sides. Well, Wendy wants half, and we want half, so let's decide. Dino made up his mind. The two sides are not good to continue to delay. Dino, can I stay here for a few days? Anan over there knew that she was leaving tomorrow when she heard this. Some are reluctant. Carla, who I just met, is a bit like glue as two little girls, and it's too late to meet each other. Dino was silent. He was thinking about leaving. It is rare for Anon to make a request to herself and it should be fulfilled. Well, Kana and I go back. Dino and Anon will stay here, and it's not too late to go back in a few days. Lucy quickly made a suggestion. Without waiting for Dino to deny it, Kana got up and went to the lounge that President Robin Lou prepared for them. See here. Dino also agreed. Then the next few days will be disturbed. Dino was polite to Robin Lou. It's okay. Of course Robin Lou had no problem. After a brief chat, Dino also left to go to his resting room. As for Anon and Carla, they fell in love at first sight and wanted to sleep with Wendy. So Dino has nothing to say. No way. Children grow up to be independent after all. Chapter 73. Dino to Gemini's Triumph. The next day, Lucy and Kana leave together, and Dino has a rare vacation to live in the Demon Cat's lodge. Wendy is shy, but fortunately, Dino is handsome, and he is also talkative, which can be regarded as a deep progress. Fairy Tale Guild. Lucy and Kana didn't waste time this time. I came back to hand over the task and plan to send it to Wendy when I have time. At this moment, the guild is discussing about the Dark Guild. What is this? Looking at the strange circle patterns drawn, Lucy was curious. Let's try to draw the organization chart of the Dark Guild. Mira Jane responded. Kana is also very concerned when she sees so many patterns in front of her. I didn't pay much attention to it before, but now after seeing it, I feel that the number of Dark Guilds is really quite large. Yes, and this is still the number after it was destroyed once. Many regular mage guilds have been attacking the Dark Guild in recent years, but the birth of this Dark Guild is like wildfire. Mira Jane sighed. Lucy felt weird. What's the purpose of painting these things? This is because the Dark Guild has started to move again recently, and many guilds must be united. Mira Jane said. Gray swept across the pattern in front of him and looked towards the very center. The three things in the largest circle ask, what are those three? This Juvia knows that it is the Blim Alliance of the Dark Guild, and the Blim Alliance is composed of three guilds, Horatian says, Tartaros and Devil Heart, and is the biggest dark force. Juvia Popular Science. Seeing a lot of familiar guilds, the souls of corpses killed by Eisenwald and Thor belong to Horatian Say's subsidiary Dark Guild. Erza responded. Lucy shivered suddenly. Hope didn't offend them. Lucy worried. Cabot's response, no need to worry at all. Horatian Say's only has 6 members. Macau also looked suspicious. I really don't understand what a guild with only 6 people thinks. Hearing this, Lucy was about to relax when he was again taken aback by Mira Jane's words. The guild of these 6 people is one of the biggest forces in the Blim Alliance, enough to see that they are definitely not simple. Mira Jane said seriously. Lucy and others were shocked. Impressively, his scalp felt numb, and the 6-member guild could be called one of the most powerful forces. This guild is definitely not that simple. About the Horatian Says you mentioned, we have decided to crusade. At this time, President Makarov came back and told the crowd with a serious look. Shock. Everyone in the guild turned to look silent. No one dared to speak first. Alabama President, are you back? Did the regular meeting go well? Mira Jane asked with a smile. Makarov didn't respond. His eyes swept across the guild and finally fell on Lucy and Kana. Aunt Lucy, Kana, Dino back? Didn't you guys go to work together? Makarov asked. Lucy Shenyan, Dino is still playing outside. We'll be back first. We got lost outside and came across the guild of the Demon Cat's Lodge. When we were sleeping in the past, Anon and a kitten named Carla hit it off and planned to play for 2 more days. Dino also stayed there. Kana also replied. Hey. Makarov took a deep breath. No way. If Dino is there, this project will be even more successful. Makarov is sorry. Dino's strength is naturally needless to say. If he was there, Horatian Says could easily be wiped out even if he was alone. Pity. Time waits for no one. About Horatian Says, Makarov retracted his mind and also began to explain things about Horatian Says. At the same time, the people who were selected to go on the mission were also selected. Inside the Demon Cat's House Guild. Anon, you have to remember what your sister said. Men and male cats approach us with bad intentions. As a beautiful and lovely female cat, you must protect yourself. Carla pulled Anon, and the 2 kittens drank pots of milk and kept their mouths open. This slip Dino is very good to me. If Happy is a good cat. Anon's face was also wet and she looked at Carla with wide eyes. Okay, no other men except Dino are good people. Carla promises. Dino and Wendy, who are not far away, are also sitting at the table, eating food and watching the communication between the 2 cats. I've never seen Carla be so nice to anyone, Wendy said. Carla used to look very proud. These 2 days have been quite happy, and I can't wait to stick with Anon all the time. Hee. Maybe because they are all cute. Dino didn't expect Anon to have such a good relationship with Carla. But that's not a bad thing. It would be nice to have a partner at least. Wendy. At this time, Robin Lou, the president of the Demon Cat House, walked in. President, aren't you attending the regular meeting? Wendy asked. Robin Lou nodded and glanced at Dino before saying. The routine meeting went on quickly, and it mainly talked about a coordinated operation against the Dark Guild. Horatian Says. Horatian Says? Dino's brain recalled a little. And he also remembered that there seemed to be a celestial spirit wizard in Horatian Says. There are quite a few keys used, especially the Gemini one made Dino very moved. and it seemed that he could grab it this time. Erza says, President, don't you plan to let Wendy deal with those people? Wendy can't do it. Carla over there also stepped forward quickly. Wendy also looked at the president. President Robin Lou nodded. I was hesitant to let Wendy go, but now I think Wendy should go. After saying this, he turned his eyes to Dino again. Dino sir, can you please protect Wendy? Robin Lou asked. Dino nodded in agreement without hesitation after hearing the request. He understands that the entire Demon Cat's house exists for the purpose of waiting for the powerful guild to destroy Nirvana. This union will definitely destroy Nirvana, Wank gains, then the entire guild will disappear and Wendy will become a homeless child. Perhaps Robin Lou's purpose was to get Dino to appease Wendy when the time came. Dino wouldn't say no to this. Well, if that's the case, then Wendy, let's go. Robin sells his mind. Wendy here left a little after getting things ready and left the Demon Cat's lodge. Dino and Robin Lou looked at each other. The future Wendy will be taken care of by Mr. Dino. She should have her own future. Robin Lou bowed in thanks. President Robin Lou doesn't need to worry. The future Wendy will be quite happy. Dino smiled, sweeping through the room, grabbing Inan, wiping her face, and nodding her head. Then I'll go too. Phew. Bright. A gust of wind blows. The figures of Dino and Inan in the room have disappeared. What a great boy. Robin Lou sighed. Chapter 74, Dino, Saint Ten Jura, really extraordinary. On the forest path, a carriage hurried forward. Inside the carriage. Why was I chosen to participate in this combat agreement? Lucy was crying. The thought of the person who was about to face Erza says shivered with fear. I also think it's very tricky. No matter how much you complain, it's useless. Who told you to come back early when you were doing missions with Dino? Gray replied. Erza sat there with a dignified expression. It would be great if Dino could participate in this mission, and he wouldn't be able to make any waves in Erza says. Happy also thought, I don't know what Carla and Lucy said about Carla, but I heard that she is a kitten as cute as Inan. Natsu was vomiting. Speaking of which, brother Dino is also a dragon slayer, but I have never seen him feel uncomfortable in a car. Natsu, you must be pretending. Lucy looked at Natsu who was beside him with an uncomfortable expression and said deliberately, area. However, the one who responded to her was Natsu who couldn't take it anymore. People are getting closer. Soon the group came to the gathering place. Blue Pegasus. The scales of the Snake Princess. Fairy Tale. The people from the three guilds also gathered. In the forest outside the gathering place. Wendy trotted all the way towards the building in front. And there were two identical kittens on the left and right. Speaking of Inan, how did you become like me? Carla was also curious when she looked at Inan next door who was the same as herself. 680. Inan knew on you replied. Dino said he wanted to see if Happy would be courteous to you or to me, so that I could become a kitten just like you. Why, what's so good about a male cat? I don't like him. Carla scorned. Wendy of Xiaopao also asked, Dino brother, he is very good. If you want to watch it, then Carla will cooperate. Why? I'm here for Inan, not for Dino. The way of Carla's dear. The building appears in front of you. Wendy rushed in, not waiting to stop. Puff. A flat fall. Wendy fell to the ground. All eyes are on. Hello, I'm a member from the Demon Cat's house. My name is Wendy. Wendy quickly stood up from the ground and patted the dust on her body. With timid eyes, he introduced himself in a low voice. Hey, how come there are two Carla? Lucy was also surprised to see two identical Carla next to Wendy. Over there, Jura of Snake Princess Scales turned around and glanced at Wendy before withdrawing her gaze. In this case, all the members of the four guilds have already arrived. Pila said. Immediately everyone else whispered. Don't you want to complain? Such a large-scale battle plan, to send only such a small, child? I really don't know what the Demon Cat's home is planning. Wendy, how does it feel to have heard the name somewhere? I didn't expect Wendy to come here. So, is brother Dino going back to the guild? But I also wonder why there are two Carlas. And over there, Happy stared at the two Carlas, hearts pounding. So cute, Happy thought to himself. Immediately, he took out two fishes from his backpack and stepped forward tremblingly. First come to Carla, who has changed. Hi, my name is Happy. I'll treat you to fish. Happy said. Anan's changed. Carla glanced at the fish and shook her head. Happy, you are a good cat. We are not suitable. Chi. The real Carla over there sucked right in. This male cat called Happy is really blind. That little girl has an extraordinary perfume, and she is no ordinary person. Wendy's knight at Blue Pegasus was also immediately told. Tia La looked at her and said, have you also noticed, Mr. One Knight, this little girl has a magic power that is different from ours. Not overnight. Just as he was about to say something, he took a deep breath through his nostrils. His eyes were full of horror. What evil, what a powerful magic this is. Jura noticed it immediately, and glanced at the open space behind Wendy. There are enemies, said. Bella immediately picked up her scepter and rushed forward behind Wendy. Everyone else was immediately vigilant. Come out. I found you long ago. Tia La raised the scepter in his hand and slammed it next to Wendy. Holy Ten Jura is really extraordinary. Sounded. In the open space behind Wendy, Dino's figure appeared, raising his left hand to grasp the scepter he had knocked down. Rumbling dash. Power down. The floor around where Dino was standing suddenly shattered. Roused, Dino's legs were smashed into the floor and buried his feet. A huge amount of magic power is released. The wind was blowing, and everyone else raised their arms to block their eyes. This is happening very fast. Even Natsu and the others didn't even have time to see who appeared. Let me try your powers, Dino said as he clenched his right fist, and a black flame spread all over his fist. A surge of magic power gathered on the right fist. Gah! A punch hits Jura. The fist pierces the air with a screeching sound. Table pulls. Too late to think. Immediately raise your fist and smack it. Bang dash. Stab. When the two fists collided, Jura only felt an unfathomable force. It was passed from the young man in front of him. He couldn't compete with it at all. The pain of the fist pierced the heart, and the body was pulled back and slid away with two traces. Dino, brother. Dino, brother. Erza and the others over there came to their senses and greeted them immediately after seeing the person coming. Wendy also looked at Dino worriedly, and Dino leaked a smile and waved to Erza and the others. Noisy, how are you guys? Dino, here. The night that was just about to start, and the others stopped moving. Now it looks like it should be my own. Viola also looked at the young Dino with a very solemn expression, and she was terrified in her heart. He did not expect that this sudden appearance of the kid was so powerful. It seems that a random punch can knock him out. Who has the title of Holy Ten? You can see how powerful this kid is. Dino, why are you here? The president of this joint operation originally planned to let you come. Erza hurriedly stepped forward to Dino's side. He also smiled after swiping over Wendy. Haha, I received a mission to protect Wendy at the Demon Cat's Lodge. Otherwise I wouldn't necessarily come here. Dino didn't admit it. Push everything to Rob Inman, the president of the Demon Cat's Lodge. Say you have a mission. Listen to this. Erza and others also understood and did not ask more. After greeting the others here, after a brief introduction, they began to discuss the battle plan. Wendy, go to discuss the countermeasures. If there is any danger, just call me. Dino touched Wendy's head, disappeared in a gust of wind. Okay Dino. Wendy agreed. I looked at Jura all night, but I didn't delay the battle because of this little thing. Start negotiating plans with people. In the plan of this battle, we must ensure that every two people deal with one of Arashin says, and we must not underestimate any of them. Dara began to talk about the plan. Everyone listened very carefully. Dino, who was hiding in the dark, also yawned and closed his eyes. Chapter 75, Dino. The person Gemini can't replicate. I'm burning up. Leave those 6 guys to me alone. After listening to the plan, Natsu immediately smashed the gate and rushed out to find the enemy. Erza and the others were just as hurried to keep up. The whole scene was left with Yi and Jura. Men, before you set off, Mr. Serra, you used to be one of the 10 magic wizards, am I right? Posing handsome all night. Tiro agrees. Indeed. In that case, your strength is enough to match President Makarov. Changed to another posture overnight and continued to ask. No, there is absolutely no such thing. The title of the Holy Ten is decided by the council. I am just to accompany the last seat. Even if I have the same title, if you compare me with President Makarov, it is heaven and earth. The difference. Table Pool hurriedly denied. He is indeed inferior to others with the title of Holy Ten, and he has barely reached the end of the title of Holy Ten. I can rest assured that. Turning his back to Jura overnight, he took out a vial and opened it. A cloud of pale yellow disgust appeared into Yingluck's nostrils. Moment. Biaola's eyes burst with bloodshots, and his body bowed slightly to the ground with his nostrils covered. What's the matter? What exactly is this smell? The voice of Yi said slowly. This is magic that can make the enemy lose their fighting spirit. Jura fell to her knees. Mr. One Night, what the hell is going on? However, opened a small bottle again with no response overnight. The red gas inside poured into the nostrils. Biaola suddenly screamed in pain. Jura was in severe pain. Mr. One Night's body changed, and 2 little blue dolls appeared. One was wearing red pants and the other was black. At this time, a white-haired woman appeared. There is a pure white feather-like clothing covering the body. You are. Table I looked up at the woman who suddenly appeared and questioned. Very well, 2 people have been subdued, said the woman. Tara, whose eyes swept across the ground, also put on a smile. Is this a Gemini? Suddenly, there were curious voices all around. Who is it? The woman snorted and glanced around. Dino's figure appeared. His eyes swept across the woman in front of him and then landed on the identical Gemini. How about you two follow me? Dino asked 2 little things. The little thing secretly hides behind the woman uncharacteristically, and his body is still trembling. He seemed to be afraid of Dino in front of him. What's the matter with you two? The woman's face darkened. Geminis have always followed orders. When have I ever been so afraid? Turning his attention back to Dino. No matter who you are, since you're seen, then you should lie down. Saying that, he reached out and took out the Celestial Spirit Key. Celestial Spirit Magic, Angel, Gemini. Celestial Spirit Gemini has the ability to copy others 100%. Dino said to himself all of Angel's information. At the same time, he also knew that Angel also had a name called Konao Agria, but he didn't say that much. Who are you? Angel suddenly stared at Dino very alert. The person who can call out his full name is definitely not an ordinary person. Could it be that he knows himself? Don't say so much. Come and show me if you can copy me and can't. Dino said. The necklace around the neck appears. Dino put his hands up and his eyes lit up with white light. Celestial Spirit Magic Zodiac, Rat. Magic Power Up. In a golden yellow magic circle behind him, there appeared a 1-meter tall guy with a mouse head and a human body with a whisk in his hand. It is the rat in the zodiac of Celestial Spirit Magic, which belongs to Dino alone. Lord. The squirrel's voice was sharp. Standing beside him, he looked at Gemini and Angel with sly eyes. Thunderbolt, Thunderbolt. Gemini Jimmy's body is even more hidden. How is that possible? You are also Celestial Spirit Magic. But, what is the zodiac sign Celestial Spirit? Why, never heard of it. Angel was startled, staring at the thief-eyed guy who appeared. Indeed, this special magic and presence is truly Celestial Spirit Magic. But why has he never heard of this Celestial Spirit? Zodiac signs? What it is? Come on, quickly copy my whole person. Don't make me wait too long. Dino's voice spoke to Farley seriously. The Gemini body trembled slightly. It disappeared with a bang, forced to close the door. Damn, how dare you escape? Angel was angry. Celestial Spirit doesn't listen to its own words, and it dares to close the door voluntarily. It's just courting death. She was furious with anger. It seems that your Gemini is afraid, or can't copy another me. Because of what? Less magic? Or is it that another 100% me is not allowed in this world? Dino muttered to himself. Gemini can 100% replicate an individual's memory and abilities. If you can copy it, you can know that Dino does not belong to this world. Really, this Gemini is nothing more than that. Zymo, go back. I wanted you to try the ability of the other party's Celestial Spirit. But now it seems that you are going to run for nothing. Dino waved his hand. Zymo's figure slowly became transparent, and then turned into a little bit of starlight and shattered away. The flowers as ordered. After disappearing, Dino also touched his chin and looked at Angel opposite. Are you thinking about her other abilities worth studying? Why damn it. Angel is also thinking about countermeasures. The inability to use Gemini is her biggest loss. Then the only thing left is to fight with real swords and real guns. As he spoke, he took out a key. Open it. Scorpio middle. Scorpio. But it's not over yet. Angel took out a silver key again. Open it. Sculptor Care Iris. A mechanical sphere similar to a sphere appears. The other is a male celestial spirit with a scorpion tail. We're 2 celestial spirits face Dino. Opening 2 doors in a row is amazing. Dino unabashedly applauded and admired when he saw this scene. Hylas, Scorpio, defeat him. Go. 0. And G immediately ordered. 2 celestial spirits immediately hit Dino. Although celestial spirit is very powerful, and even opening 2 doors of Celestial Spirit is not easy, it is still not enough for Dino. Come on. This fast. Your Celestial Spirit key has been temporarily accepted by me. Dino said. Hands shine. His figure disappeared before his eyes. Come to the front of Scorpio, slap it on the body. Smash magic. Chew. The magic circle blooms, and the square and square lines are the same size and crisscross. Hit the Scorpio's body incessantly. Moment. Scorpio was smashed to pieces. Without waiting for Dino to do anything, it dissipated directly in front of his eyes. Fix 1. Dino whispered, and the figure disappeared again. Coming to the statue is still the same behavior to kill it. Watching Angel in front of him stride forward. How come? Angel couldn't believe it. He couldn't get around in front of this man after opening 2 doors in a row. 2 moves to break up 2 celestial spirits. How can she deal with such a person? It's over, Dino said. The figure once again saw only an after image. Angel's heart skipped a beat. Dino's figure appeared out of thin air. Rainbow, descend from the sky. Yellow thunder / shot down. Angel's body trembled, and thunder raged in his body. Puff tilde. Angel vomited blood. This time the thunder was quite powerful. Dino didn't hold back. Puff. Angel fell to the ground. Dino reached for the key on her body. Then it's time to deal with the other Eurasian says too. After speaking, he disappeared before his eyes.